left off with the sheep blowing away the fog cloud, Slaker, Ganlin, Alwyn, the bear, Toes, Faye, all running away from the watchtower, collapsing in. The only one that didn't get out was Toes, who is in horribly critical condition.
Poor Toes.
Literally, like, just impaled, if not completely crushed beneath the many timbers of this large outpost collapsing onto him. The rest of you guys are, there's still a little bit of like scarring and stuff from your encounter with the orc and his many a creature following him. And as you guys are kind of getting a sense when the dust settles, you see a bright flash of light.
That was really well timed.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Bright.
It just wants to be really
You see a bright flash of light kind of appear in front of you guys, and what appears to be a swirl of sand kind of emanates from the ground up and manifesting into what looks like an elvish form with a very gold and bronze kind of looking embroidered tabard and yeah,
Okay.
and clothing.
Distinguished.
Oh yeah.
The clock is just making that music.
As this random gentleman appears, he seems to be examining the scene, and under his breath, you see him go, this just won't do at all. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
And he reaches his hands out, kind of closing his eyes, and you can see the wooden tower start to kind of lift itself up, and Toes going vertically, like just kind of rewinding everything that has just occurred, and the tower stands up on end as it was, and he, as soon as this kind of finishes with with all of the sand kind of blowing back and forth, eventually he kind of looks to the lot of you, the sand starts to die down, and he kind of counts and he's like, and he just kind of walks over towards Alwyn, who's kind of like unsure what's happening. He puts a hand onto her shoulder, and then the kind of sands envelop her, and she just dissipates into dust.
Oh.
And then he looks to the lot of you and goes, I'm assuming you're going to want him to not be dead or unconscious on the floor.
Yeah, that would actually be really nice there.
Perfect. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And disappears into just a flurry of dust.
Okay.
The sheep, like,
Sheep man.
the sheep, like,
Is he gone?
turns around to look at the lot of you guys, and it seems like he's kind of bewildered, like,
Sorry.
nothing is quite immediately apparent as to what just happened, and he goes to speak, and all of you, including especially Jan here, everybody has full health, full HP, full spells, etc., etc.
You like the maples.
As
like the
sands
bird
kind of
songs.
shift around the ground and stuff. When you guys look at the watchtower that had previously collapsed, you can see there's like this faint yellowish glow kind of coming from its base,
Wait, so
like
since
on the post.
he rewinded time, am I back to Reginald Wenceslas? Am I back in king form?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, Wenceslas returns.
Yeah, you pop back into king form, but as the sands kind of twirl around and about, you still retain that, but you get your spells back.
Nice.
But so Alwyn's
Extra
just
king
gone.
time. We're in there.
Alwyn just disappeared.
Yep. And there's a bear that there's a ranger that no longer is casting
Am I still
animal
halfling?
friendship.
Oh shit.
Big toast.
Am I still a halfling?
You are a frog man.
Did I pass out? I don't think I ever passed out.
You did at some point. I think at the bar.
Oh, but not
You
like
turned back
unconscious,
over.
like damage-wise, but just from drinking.
Yes.
I think
Whole
you.
lot of
I think
that.
you turned back into frog form because I
Wait,
remember
she
I
did
went
that
through.
to do the carcasses. That's right.
Yeah. I'm like, you turned back at some point along the way.
She didn't pass out. She outdrank all of us.
Yeah, I was the only one
Mhm.
who didn't talk to the sheep.
Have you seen my pictures yet?
No.
I'll show you.
Of the sheep or.
Mine right now.
So, with that said, Yawn, I almost called you Bolston. Yawn,
You just said a red blob thing. Also
it's like
nice,
PTSD.
That's Squire.
PTSD.
Yawn, you
That's the weird
are
other gray blob thing.
at the base of this tower,
So that's what
and
skeleton looks like?
from what you remember looking up, there's a little bit of forest just slightly south, but mostly west
look like
of where
a-
you currently are. And at the top of a
I'll tell you,
hill,
Mommy, from now on.
beyond the forest is this kind of wooden tower that
Look at
you
Squire.
remember the sheep was saying you guys need to go to in order to stop his apprentice.
Indeed.
But that said, you no longer understand the sheep as time seems to have kind of passed for that incantation. So
I kinda wanna
that
miss
scroll has expired. Anyways,
Huh?
That's the scroll.
so the lot of you guys, what are you doing?
Probably looking at myself. Probably like,
That's good.
I want to
Looking
keep
at
I want to keep a watch on the bear.
Toast?
Hello,
Yeah, the bear is a little bit distant from you guys, but is kind of like looking around almost confusedly, maybe even a little bit worried.
I'm gonna smile at the bear.
Okay.
Let's hope it doesn't attack me.
Trouble there.
The bear looks at you, and it kind of turns its head, like, curiously, and then it sees the lot of you standing there, and it just kind of fucking books it.
Understandable. I
Just
don't blame
sprints straight into the wood, like, nope, 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 nope.
it. I don't blame it.
I'm gonna sit down in despair.
Okay.
Good plan.
Saying, breathing, thinking,
Doing
I'm good.
drugs.
Huh? I'm sorry.
saying, breathing, thinking.
Thinking. I'm just very think like Eeyore, but in Slod form. Just sitting in
Like a
defeat
sad frog?
on the.
Or are you still halfling?
Huh? This sitting in
No,
defeat.
it's,
No longer
it's,
half.
the, it's the
Yeah.
frog form.
Sad frog.
I guess it's or are you thinking about the watchtower? Toes getting crunched?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Definitely thinking about toes.
Toes, the other red one. You're also on your feet, and where previously
Yeah.
you were
Dead.
like
Yeah.
gasping for breath and then passing out.
Did I
you were
notice
back up.
the elf at all?
I'm good with
Because I kind of want to hope that I didn't, and that I just
No,
think that
you
everything
didn't.
went perfect.
No, you as far as you're concerned, you were gasping for air, but it kind of feels like a distant dream or maybe even deja vu, like something that might have happened to you at some point, but it's just similar circumstance. You're not quite sure exactly what has exactly transpired.
Well, I'm going to dust myself off and be like, Galen, what are you putting these smoke clouds? Fucking crazy shit in here.
That's for Gamlin to know. And you
Listen, I
find
could have
out.
sworn that whole thing just fell down on me. You believe that shit?
So I can't.
Okay, well, I got you confused.
Confusing King Wenceslas.
Yeah, the king, my king with powers. That's all.
Gamlin's smart cannot bring down buildings.
Yeah.
He can bring down people.
So what do you guys do? The tower is up. Yon knows where to go. The Slod's in despair.
And
The elf is gone. The bear sprinted into the woods.
And I was
Wait,
unconscious for
can you
most of what
repeat
happened
all of
last
that for
night.
just a second, a little bit slower?
You can watch that on the live stream. Sorry, but no.
Nice, God.
Someone have headphones.
Somewhere.
But so Faye was unconscious until like the whole thing was coming down, right? A little
Yeah,
bit.
because I helped you back up.
Yeah.
And then you took off, and yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was unconscious because I wasn't here while we did
Yeah,
this,
but you
so-
were up and away
Okay.
before the tower came down.
Yeah, I knew that. Okay, so I'm just trying to remember what exactly happened because I was like so high on Dayquil last time.
Basically, you
Wow.
were at the
I'm
top.
sick.
You
Oh,
were
yeah.
at the top of the watchtower.
Oh, yeah, right.
You saw there's the suit of armor with sludge where a person probably should have been.
Okay.
You came down. Yon went up. Smoke clouds, slods, and towers collapsing.
Okay.
You're pretty sure at some point you got smacked in the back, and that's why you went down.
Okay.
But you're not like positive on the circumstances of it.
Okay.
You just know that you were unconscious for a second,
And then it was not.
but now you're not.
Okay. So
Everything is very kind of weird as far as like the circumstances of both how you got there and as to why you're up.
Okay. And so the elf turned back time, right? Does that mean the tower's still standing?
Yeah. The tower is up,
Okay.
and it's got a faint glow at its 4 posts at the base. It's kind of like a silvery goldish kind of color, kind of emanating. It's just light though. It's not like wrapped or something like that.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Kind of pulsates with time.
Is this
Okay.
Manila folder.
Well, I would love to climb back up the tower.
I was like, is that
Okay. Yep, you can get up. It's fine.
And then I want
Is
to
it Massachusetts?
look for the suit of armor that had the weird gross sludge stuff in it.
It's pretty straightforward as far as like the design of this tower. It's
That's actually what I was
basically
thinking.
it's basically just a square with posts on the edge of it, and then one area that you can get up a tower with
Okay.
through the ladder.
Okay.
Is it holding the die?
Mm.
That is awesome.
What is it? Oh, the dice.
It's got the die. As soon as you reach the top, the suit of armor and the sludge is exactly where you remember it being.
So try.
Okay.
Remember.
He just doesn't sit flat.
I
Thought it was gonna knock
am going to use my newfound knowledge
Yeah.
on my spells.
Actually,
And let me go to the page where I have it. I want to use detect magic.
Making it smell. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Are you? I'm assuming you're casting this at first level.
yeah.
There's some classes that have cantrips. I played it as an artificer, and they get it as a ritual. So they can choose whether or not they, if I'm correct, they can choose whether or not they just cast it, or if they sit there for 10 minutes and go, this is how it goes.
Well, mine says concentration up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's just you're
Okay.
focusing.
Cool. So it didn't really say like what I had to roll or anything. Do I have to roll for this?
No.
Okay, cool.
So, how it works is you just kind of feel magic within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
On top of like the 40-foot tower, you can see basically or sense a faint aura around things within your vision.
Yeah, I have that down.
And then determine what school, if any, specific school. As far as things go, when you cast detect magic, you're standing on top of the tower, and the first immediate thing you notice is there appears to be some kind of aura of like transmutation, kind of focused around the body within the armor, but not the armor itself.
But not the armor itself.
Yeah, that's the first thing that you notice.
Okay.
The next thing you notice is there's a much like fainter, kind of more of an aura of transmutive magic kind of around the watchtower itself, but it's very faint, or it's something that you're not very familiar with.
Okay.
So that's what you notice.
So it basically feels like transmutation,
Yeah,
is what you're saying?
yeah, as far as the specific school of magic.
Wow, what is this, Full Metal Alchemist? Okay, that makes sense. So the body and the thing is literally just like a sludge.
Yeah, the body's kind of like this blackish, purplish goop that's kind of left in what should have been, what should just be a set of armor around a humanoid. Like, it's positioned as if it was somebody wearing it, and has now collapsed into goop.
Okay. Is there anything else around the body besides the body? Like some...
Like for the watchtower?
Yeah,
or?
like what else is in there? I'm curious.
Basically, besides the body, this is a pretty small watchtower. Like, from here, if you kind of look off in the distance, off to the east, you can see that there's a very small town. So it's not a very well equipped, but it's some kind of basic defense is what you can kind of gather just immediately regarding. That said, if you would like, you can look at the body or look at your surroundings to try to see what's happening.
I want to look at the body.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation.
Yeah, buddy. Let me get my good dice.
While Faye
15.
While Faye's investigating on top of the tower, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Sulking.
I want to see where that sheep's at.
That sheep
Okay.
roof.
It's right around
The sheep is very far off. You can see him kind of like bleeding at you guys, like, and then like between, he kind of like, it looks like he's very hesitant, like somebody that's about to do something they really hate, and then he just goes down and like takes a bite of grass, and then goes back to trying to call out to you, and then just kind of.
Yeah, I think your sheep friend's got a problem. And he's magical, I know that, I remember that. He totally did some cool shit. What's going on here?
What trouble is Sheep Man
I
having?
don't know, you're the one who talks to him.
Sheep Man. I can no longer understand Sheep Man.
Yeah, it's like you never could. Thanks.
You think I really brought you all the way out here? because I cannot understand
Yeah, you
Sheep
wanted to
Man.
watch crazy shit happen. And get wasted, I know you.
Well,
And Jan needs a drink
True.
to speak to the sheep.
Squire, mixed drinks.
bartender.
Bartender.
Slager's just
are
staring at you.
Is Faye at the top yet?
Faye went up a
Come
while
on,
ago.
mixed
Yeah.
drinks.
Currently, Faye is kind of out of sight because she's 40 feet up. So while you guys are down below, kind of discussing, she's been up there for a minute.
Have you seen anything useful, Faye?
Do I hear that?
Yeah.
Well,
As far as your investigation goes, kind of searching around, you notice that there are 14 silver pieces on the armor,
mine.
like in a coin pouch, and then the armor itself seems to be in very, very good condition, but it's not something that you're very proficient with, though it's something that you could take or you could kind of leave to try to figure out what's regarding the sludge. The sludge, as you kind of look closer, is very much in a humanoid kind of manner, so this might have been a person.
Do I have any way to figure out what happened, or am I just kind of going
You
up?
know that there's some kind of transmutation
That's
at
okay.
work, but whether or not you can reverse it, that's
I mean,
completely past you.
I can deal with that. So I'm gonna take the silver because it's me, and that's mine now.
Add 14 silver to your inventory.
Hell yeah, I am. Those are mine. We'll just. I go up to that. Sweet. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm gonna answer Jan. So you know what? I was learning about my environment because there's some weird ass sludge shit up here. Okay, so there's some armor with some like sludge up here. I don't know what it is, but I checked it, you know, being the badass I am, and it looks like it's transmutation magic, but I know nothing of that. So, is there anybody who knows anything about that?
Ganlin knows nothing.
Well, Ganlin doesn't matter anymore.
Does anybody like pale ales?
I've had them.
No.
I have never.
Do you like
tried
that?
them.
Why?
Because I don't want to finish it.
Understandable.
Well,
Like I
drink-
will
how
if I
much is
have
left
to.
in there?
Half?
I don't really drink it.
I'll try.
As long as it's not a whole one.
Because I did not. That's right.
You can like me.
Okay, let's just do it all right now.
Chug, 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 chug,
It's like the
chug.
jalapenos all over again.
Oh, there you go.
He finished his half a burger in 2
I'll be
bites.
right
Literally, he was just. It was intense.
Hey, you want to throw this away too?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because he's
Okay, we're
me.
Thanks, Nick. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You need backwash, dude, because I drink all of it. No, it doesn't matter. Let's just give me shit.
it's alcohol. I mean, it's all sterile.
Let's see what we
Mostly.
got here.
Kind of.
Like 90% sterile. So Faye calls down asking if anybody knows anything about transmutation magic.
Does anybody know anything about that?
Would I have any knowledge of transmutation?
You
I
should.
mean, you can roll Arcana.
Okay.
Do I have any? Or do I have to do this one?
Oh dear, that's a
Arcana.
You're just gonna be
Oh.
So 2. I'm a little preoccupied.
You can roll at advantage because you literally shapeshift.
What is these ones here? This is shit.
7.
7. You understand what it is, but not precisely like the mechanics of how it functions. I mean, it's like knowing, like, you can write with a pencil, but you don't necessarily know that it's wood and rubber and lead that makes up a pencil.
So what is transmutation magic? Because I don't know.
Transmutation magic is,
Hold on.
you know that it's magic that you change things from one thing to another
Basically,
with,
hold on.
but not necessarily how it works as far as like the actual casting or like what components you need or blah 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 blah. You just know that you turn into things and that's transmutation.
Oh, okay.
That's about the extent of it. Did anyone else roll?
For Arcana?
Yeah.
I will right now. Fuck. Is there? Let me look this up. Sorry. I just joined.
Arcana is under int.
intelligence.
16.
16?
No,
You have a decent idea. You know that it's a specific school of spellcasting and like I was saying with Slaker, it's very much a turn thing into something else is kind of the core of transmutation magic. Beyond that, it's basically you can't do one thing without some kind of equal and opposite thing to kind of base it off of, like as a whole, but it tends to overlap with stuff like enchantment magic or even to an extent kind of like abjuration type stuff. Long story short, you've got a decent idea, so if you were to go up, you'd probably be able to at least attempt to answer whatever she's asking about.
Are there any hack marks on the beam anymore? Like,
No, there are not. When you take a look at it, you remember Slaker chopping into the thing,
Yeah.
but you don't see any evidence of
Okay.
that. When you look down, you can see kind of this glowing, yellowish, whitish light emanating from the bottom of the post.
Well, clearly some magic bullshit's going on right now. So I think I'm gonna just. You can't bring it down. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna be climbing up and go check that out. Faye, let's look at your goo.
That's what she said.
Excuse
That's
me?
all I shout. That's all I shout back.
Alright.
Take a drink. So, Jan and Gamlin, what are the two of you guys
Oh
doing?
man, I should have said that
I'm
something.
gonna climb up
Oh,
there.
that sounds better.
You're climbing up behind Toes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are all clean.
I'm gonna wait and console the sad frog being.
Oh, you don't want to join
Okay.
the orgy?
What do you say?
I say, Frogman, why are you sad? Why do you sulk?
Why do you so?
What is sulk?
Why do you sit upon the ground without motion?
Where else is one to sit?
I don't love everything about this.
What emotion is one?
Shall we depart?
But I'm sitting without motion.
Indeed.
Would you like to?
But motion is not limited just by sitting.
That didn't even make sense to like other people.
It made
Your
sense
ability
to
to
Jan.
move is not inhibited by just sitting down for a second.
That makes sense.
What is sulking?
Yeah.
Do I hear this?
Never mind.
We're like 40
Probably
feet
not.
up.
Perception.
Yeah, we're like 40 feet up.
Let's see if I
You're
can.
you're on your way up.
get
Following
45.
Gamlin.
Okay, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, we don't even talk
I
about
got
it.
5.
Yeah, you're kind of focused on not falling to your death.
Again.
I don't know about that. Don't give me flashbacks.
Just PTSD, just back in Watchtower.
Wait, so Gamlin is climbing underneath me, right?
Oh,
Yes.
behind you, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Gamlin, what does it look like under my kingly robes?
To the feet.
Just curious if that got transmogged in a cool way or if
As to motion
it's just like
fusion.
underwear.
It's
Well, what do you
Yeah,
want?
no,
That's kind of on you.
True.
You determine the disguise.
Make it like a thong.
Gamlin is not comfortable answering your question. Gamlin is not comfortable looking to
Listen,
answer
I
your
didn't
question.
think all the details when I went into it. I'm just curious if you know what you're seeing.
Gamlin is trying not to look.
Listen, it's fine. We don't need to talk to it. I'll get a mirror
If you must
and I'll
know,
check
it's a
that later.
thong.
Alright. Good work with that. Very cool, King. That's what it is to me.
That's
Anyways, you make it to the top, and not long after Gilman follows, Faye is kind of standing up there, kind of across the watchtower, next to a set of armor with sludge in the shape of a humanoid, kind of on the ground inside of the armor next to her.
Is there any sort of stick anywhere around?
Well, if you define stick as wood, then yes, this whole watchtower is made
You know
of
what,
wood,
Jordan?
but
Hey, what are
as
trees?
far as free formed, like stick to prod or poke with, no.
Okay, well, I want to take out my dagger and just poke the sludge.
Okay, you take out your dagger and you give it a poke. It a little bit kind of sticks to it, it just kind
I'm
of.
satisfied. I'm satisfied.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna kind of hold up my dagger with like the little bits of sludge still on it and just be like, look! Towards like Toast and Gambling.
Nice.
So it's a thing that is a thing. It's in the armor. It looks like a humanoid. It's giving me transmutation vibes.
Did you taste it yet?
If it's a human, I really don't want to taste it. I'm half human, dude. Like, that's a little bit cannibalistic, don't you think? But it's like this weird, like, purple-black kind of color, which is kind of
Well, somebody's got to taste it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you're the least human of us all.
Yeah, but I'm also like can't if I'm like I'm super. If I'm gonna do magic on this, I can't like also be the one to taste it. It's a
Hey, Galen, you want to taste it?
Yeah, Galen,
I'm
just
just
take
gonna
a
hold it
small
towards
taste.
Galen.
Taste this and get other taste. I was gonna
What?
go for it.
Taste it. Just eat it. It's fine. It's safe.
Just blue,
And
right?
then try to shove it in your mouth.
As you like pull it towards you, you can smell that it's kind of sweet.
Yeah, but I still want to try to shove it in his mouth.
Okay.
Human.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
Okay.
Well, it's organic.
Sure.
That's a 19.
19.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll dex save for me. Can't be very good.
No, it's gonna be bad. 11.
You can get it to his mouth, but as far as in goes, you've got.
Okay, at least rub it on his lips. Like lip gloss.
Oh god.
You can wipe that off.
Lip pencil squash.
I'm just gonna wipe my background. Just wipe off my background.
When's lip gloss?
Just say
Okay.
fabulous.
Thank you. Do I taste any of that?
Mm-hmm. It
What's
tastes
it
sweet. It's kind of like jelly.
Can't lose a...
Hold on, guys. Do I know what jelly is? I mean, yeah, I guess I would. I was thinking
Yeah.
Jello, and I was like,
Oh no, no, it tastes more like jelly. It's sweeter like
Okay,
that.
we just got some jelly up in this business. What's this
But-
building?
No.
Taste it. It's jelly.
I am not tasting it. That is where I crossed the line there, Wenceslas.
Can I
Listen.
take some and put it on her mouth?
Hold on. I know somebody who would like this. Human jelly sounds just like right up their alley. Could I just start like taking handfuls and like putting it off the side? I'm just like, it's like her. Human jelly.
I mean, sure. Where are you taking the jelly from?
Are you just throwing it?
From the armor and just like
Like
putting it on.
the torso, like the leg.
Whatever the most is.
Probably
That's fine.
inside of the torso,
Yeah.
but you kind of have to like reach underneath to grab,
That's alright.
because you know there is a piece of armor there. If you just want free floating jelly, it's closer to like the legs
Do
or
the
the
brain.
arms.
No, I'm just gonna grab what's most accessible. I'm not gonna be like, yeah.
The leg is closest to the ladder. That's the best that I've got for you as far as accessibility. You're reaching your hand to the jelly
Yeah, it's just like dripping it onto the ground and be like,
from like the leg.
yeah, it's like blueberry, yeah.
Okay.
Or yawn. You can have some too. Everyone up here tried it, I swear.
Yawn.
Yawn is
I just
disgusting.
shout out, I did it.
Slaker, you can hear just a kind of dripping off of the ladder. Looking up, you can see this bluish, blackish goop just slowly sliding down.
So gross.
Just the reaction.
Slaker stares.
Slaker just stares. That's all Slaker does.
Slaker, aren't you hungry?
What sayest thou?
It's human goo.
Jan, you hear them say it's human goo.
Jelly! Made by humans.
You
More like
recognized
from
this as
human.
the sludge when you went up there and
Right.
looked at the armor.
Boysenberry.
And scouted out where the tower is in relation to where you are.
Boys and girls and berries.
No more sludge eating. Come down from the tower. We have another tower to go to.
I can't be
I
the
don't
only one
want
who
to.
ate it.
No more, regardless of who's eating it.
What other tower?
In the distance, southwest. This is the next
But
tower where this
I want to find out
sheepman's
where
apprentice
this goo came
is.
from.
Probably came from the apprentice.
What apprentice?
Yeah, what's going on?
The sheepman's apprentice who transformed him into a sheep.
Wait, is that the guy, the orc we killed? We got the gold, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. Then we're
On
how
the right
is it-
track,
hold
but
on.
no human sludge eating.
Why
I
not?
don't human sludge.
What's everyone else?
I'm also shouting from a tower.
I'm in a store and I'm singing.
I'm on a tower and I'm shouting.
Eat the coop. Alright, I'm gonna start climbing down. There's no reason for me to be up here.
Yeah.
Slips on the sludge.
Roll
Reginald Wenceslas takes
No,
the
there, it
fall
wasn't
damage.
enough sludge to start slipping.
The
Plus, if
slippery
anything,
sludge.
it might make it stickier.
Oh.
Probably.
Can you make a sledgehammer out of your glaive?
Sledgehammer?
A sledgehammer out of your glaive?
I hate
Or something like
allergy
that.
season.
I just like put my mace in it.
Blade.
Yeah.
And they're like
Not
hardens.
glaive, but yeah, your mace.
Unlike a glaive is a blade.
It's a big old sword kind of thing.
Yeah.
Two-handed.
It can be.
Get your mace or your
Blades are
ball,
weird.
just stick it in the sludge.
Hey, does anybody want this
Oh.
armor? I shout down.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Covered in sludge, no.
Ganlin
Well, we can
does
clean
not.
it. What? We can clean it. It's fine. It's in good shape. It looks shiny. Maybe that's because of the sludge.
What kind is it?
Does it look like I know anything about armor, Jan?
Just throw it down, but preferably when I'm off the ladder.
Alright, I'm just gonna kind of
Drop
pick
it
up like
down.
the chest plate and just kind of like shake it out with the sludge.
Okay.
Get all the
just
sludge
kinda-
out of the parts.
Are you just
Shaking
kind
it
of letting
right
it?
down the
Are you
ladder.
just letting it kind of slop down into the pile?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll just like once I see that Toes clears the ladder, I'll throw it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Just shaking it
Once you
sludge.
finish kind of cleaning it off, you toss it down. Toes, make a dex save.
Oh god. I said after he's down.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a 4.
that's a 4.
Yeah.
You didn't get out of the way.
I'm just like getting down at the bottom, like cleaning the goop off my hands. I just go like hit the head by like
Yeah.
a
Take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As the armor chest piece just funks you straight on the head.
I look down and I say, "Look out below."
Oh, thank you.
Those at the bottom, you see this armor piece just kind of fall from the sky onto the
Slaker
ground,
jumps into posed frog position.
like about to jump.
Like a frog.
Like on all 4s.
Yeah, you gotta explain that.
Yeah, I know.
What was that into?
Like
Well, like a
Spider-Man
Ninja
on the
Turtle.
edge of a building about to go.
Like a two.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, like a frog.
Oh,
It's
the
like a
frog.
normal
Oh, it's
frog.
actually
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Except for
Spider-Man. Probably more like one knee on, and
Spider-Man.
you know you have like a big,
Spider-Man.
huge
Those
freaking
whatever
leg.
You can't see her,
Spider-Man
it's trying to
is.
get skull behind it, so it could be
Or like
a
one down and like ready to
sure
go.
it's a two.
This is
Alright.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Just
Mola.
right here, Spidey.
A Spidey
Okay.
spread your frog pose. What?
It's not
Okay.
a tumor.
It's not a tumor, it's a molar.
Spider-Man does.
Slaker
It's just
is
a waste
prepared to
Like it was like an
Move.
immediate reaction. Like the armor came down, all of a sudden.
like instinctual, like.
What?
Okay. So Slaker kind of jumps at attention at the heavy metal, just kind of bong on
Yeah, like
on
this.
Toes'
Oh,
horns.
yeah, there you go. Easy
Ninja
chemistry.
It's really bad.
Jan, the unfortunate Toes, and Slaker, the three of you have a metal chest piece that's kind of on the ground next to you.
I'm gonna throw it out first.
John, do you like this metal piece alive?
I'm going to go kick it full force away from everyone.
Oh my
Okay, at least
god.
away. I was
Okay.
like, just imagine it getting kicked right
Go ahead and
in
roll
the face.
strength.
You break your fucking slap.
No, you're good. You're good. No. I just.
Actually, athletics.
Oh well.
Atléticos.
25.
25? Okay, go ahead and roll a d4.
Oh, you're right. It is 4. Not this one.
Faye, you're tossing down more?
I'm
2.
gonna toss down the rest, like the leg pieces and all that good
Okay.
stuff.
2? Okay, take 2 damage as your toe kind of crinkles in on itself, hitting this large sheet of metal.
Ow.
That said, it goes fucking flying. Just,
And then like I'm gonna do a follow through and then do like a Tarzan. like vicious jaws shaking, claws, toes.
Spittle everywhere.
Everybody hears
I'm
that.
just gonna go, oh cool, yeah, my
I'm
head
just
hurts
gonna
enough
start
already. I
clapping.
don't need all the screaming.
Great form, Slicker. Great form.
The sheep stands at attention, like runs over to Jan.
I'm going to run after
No.
the metal that I just kicked and
Oh,
kick
dear.
it again.
Oh my god, you're gonna
Okay.
You're gonna get
Before you
lost.
do that, Faye, you're tossing down armor.
Oh yeah, I'm tossing down the rest.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a roll deck save.
Sorry.
No, I knew it was coming.
Alright, human trap.
That's a fail.
Well, yeah.
It's kinda hard to read.
Raw was 3.
Oh,
I don't.
so 3, 4, 5, 6 if you're red.
Okay.
Is that how that works?
What does that mean?
6. And I have advantage on saving throws actually.
Okay.
Glad I looked.
Yeah, glad you looked.
Well,
Never
we're
mind.
gonna take the 3 over the 1.
All right. So, take 4 damage as 2 shin guards kind of funk fall right on your head, one after the other.
Just kind of pretend like it's nothing. Like it's rain, gentle rain.
Slowly just going further and further into yourself. Pretending it's nothing. It's like, it's fine.
Alright,
Slaker, Ganlin, and Toes.
I want to start throwing stuff
Yawn.
down as well.
Yeah,
Anything else
bye.
to throw?
Throw some goop.
Well, so far, shin guards and a chest plate have been tossed down.
So there's more to throw.
So there's
So what you're saying is there's more to throw.
We're
So-
gonna start helping her throw.
Scoop the
everything.
brains in the helmet and then just like bucket it down like a whale sword.
Just slurp it up.
How about I just throw the brain down to you?
But it's
I don't
slush.
even know that there's brains.
Yeah.
It's slush.
Yes.
So we'll she'll just throw the slush down.
Why not?
That works. But I mean, I also can like.
Does Slater actually make this request?
No.
Soylent Green.
Slaker doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slaker has
People.
no clue.
Oh
I'm
my
just gonna
gosh,
start
are
throwing
those
Sure,
chips?
stuff down then.
Okay.
I want some
Shoulders,
toasty.
heads, or whatever.
There's
It's really
yeah,
rare. I
there's
actually made it for
pauldrons,
myself.
there's gauntlets.
Throw down the
Yeah.
cauldron.
He grabbed on the snake and everybody was
Beyond that,
"Whoa."
that's
it was like
kind of it as far
I
as
see, I
metal
understand
pieces.
this.
Okay.
I mean, there's like cloth straps that were attached to the metal, but it's about.
No, those are BBs.
Okay.
Thanks, baby.
I wanted some salty snap.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the shoulder pad things down.
Pauldrons.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real horror.
Do you move?
I mean, on my turn I'm sprinting and like kicking. So,
Okay.
Oh dear.
so if I have moved
Yeah.
yet,
No, you can.
You said
I just didn't
use
know
the
if you were
friends
focused
because
on the ignore it like rain or if you were focused on.
no, the
Punching.
ignoring it like rain is a side effect from being focused on kicking the metal.
I want to go in and pick up the 2 shin guards or whatever that fell.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Say it's Slaker.
Bombs away.
Yeah, so I'm currently,
Yeah, you pick them up.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
There's
Now you
like
gotta
just
roll
a hint of the sludge, but most of it kind of is.
We'll just wash
Ow.
it in a river. It's fine.
Little brains.
Let me know when I get close to the plate.
Just don't put them on until we clean them.
You're about halfway there.
Can't stop me.
You
I
kicked
kicked
it.
it far.
What, 25? Yeah. You kicked it pretty far.
You're like
Maybe
50
something
feet.
out of this.
Anyway, so you pick up the shin guards
Yeah.
and.
Is that news?
I hold them up and I go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got shin guards for
Yeah.
your soccer days.
What
Just
is
the soccer.
Alright, let's not.
Specifics.
All right, let's
We're not
do it.
gonna question.
You kick something that you're currently breaking on me, alright? Let's just not get into this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and looking at the armor, you can tell that it appears to be part of a half plate set.
What would the armor class of that be?
17.
Is that pretty good?
Well,
Yours
15
already-
plus dex mod.
I already have that, so
But they're pretty. What does your current ones look like?
pretty fucking neato.
Well, what do these ones look like?
Pretty neato.
They're pretty plain.
Actually,
They're not well crafted or like
okay.
They're just
spectacular
regular
in form.
guards. It's like a wooden tower.
You're like
Yeah.
a wooden tower.
Yeah,
for
God.
a regular
This
guard.
is discount. This is a
I
discount
feel like we
security
should.
company.
I feel like we should give these to Wenceslas because he apparently needs it because he just keeps getting hit with
By
everything.
all
Well,
means.
I'm not gonna carry this heavy ass stuff. Remember the last 3 thunderstorms? I'm not gonna wear them.
Well, then fine.
Okay,
Follow
I have a quote
Slaker's
for this.
example and kick it.
The iron rod pushing the rock. Would anyone like to go with me? I will take the dragon child and put him inside the moose.
I posted
that
that
was
over my
That was like
my
drugs
Facebook group.
or something.
And the response that I got was beautiful because I posted it and said, I wish this was code for something, but it's not. This is what was happening.
What did people say?
The response I got was just like, yeah, D&D.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
The iron rod is pushing the rock.
Oh gosh. You have no idea the like sheer volume of random fucking quotes
Can
that I have.
Tell you a random story real fast.
Sure. Afterwards I'll pull up some random quotes.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so we were working on saber and conocer today, and the difference between the two no versions.
Espanol.
Super.
Right. So basically, in a nutshell, saber is to know skills and facts, and then
Right.
conocer is people, place, and things. And so this one dude was like really struggling with it. So I walked over to him, and he was in there, and I was like, "Do you play D&D?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, if you can get it off of your sheet, it's saber. Skills, facts from Candlekeep, you name it, you got it. If the DM has to give it to you, names, places, things, it's conocer. Oh, he didn't miss a question after that. And it was a beautiful moment.
Yes, bye.
You know, that's teaching.
Yeah, right.
Vape on the pizza. Fucking vape on the water.
But guys, I'm so proud of myself because it's actually true.
It is. It's
It is.
correct.
If you
Yeah.
can get it from your stats, it's saber. If you get it from the
It's
DM,
saber.
it's conocer.
That sounded Italian.
It's
Okay.
saber,
You know,
bro.
I studied Italian diction, so it's fine. It's saber.
That makes sense.
Meanwhile, in
Hey, it's
in
so
Jordan
bad.
DU
Hey,
games,
wow.
here's a quote. This is a quote from my DM. You are wrapped up in tentacles while fully nude. I don't like what I've done.
Well, guess we're getting into some tentacle porn then, huh?
Another one was we were in somebody's dream, and
Tentacle porn.
they the dream spell lets you like change your form while in the dream. So the quote goes, "It's like the Old Spice commercial. Look at your life. Now back to me. I'm your dad." Another one. I pull out my new packed weapon, a gun. Another quote from the DM. There shall be no mole on mole action as I, the DM, forbid it.
That's a shame.
Another one that I have is another one that I have is why be normal when you could be swole mole?
So
Man slip.
oh my god, have you guys ever seen
It's just a
Naruto?
dude yelling like this out of the boot.
That's great.
That's the one.
Okay, well remind me after the
That's
session
not
we'll
what
show
the
you.
funny was like.
Oh.
I
Does blackout drunk count as a long rest?
I mean, maybe.
Yes.
Question mark.
I'm sorry, I do not mean to derail this by sharing my Spanish story.
It's really.
I was also very proud of making that connection.
It
I'm
was
in a
relevant.
field. You're dreaming. You're in a field of dreams.
You can die
Another
too,
one.
for
I
all
put the
you.
Lenny face on this one. You go boom and the goo goes flying off.
Oh god.
No, nobody, no. Don't think about it.
What they do.
Anyways, back to the game.
The sludge, the goo.
So
Graham
you
Ford.
have 2 shin guards, and the frogman has run off.
Alright.
Oh, that's comfy.
I don't really want to do anything. I'm just gonna drop the shit. I got bored with it, so I'm just gonna walk away.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Gamlin, you're throwing down more stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the stuff.
All of it.
we got completely healed, can I polyform again?
What's
Is
the
it the
cooldown
effects
on your
of a long
polyform?
rest? Once per long rest.
Yes. I'll say yes.
Ew, you. I want to do
I think this is
Anyways, you guys are at a watchtower, and
Am I close to the armor yet?
yeah, you can make it to the breastplate.
Instead of kicking it, I'm just gonna like completely tackle it and like ground pound it and then just start like punching the living daylights out of it.
Okay. Go ahead and
Do any of us notice this, or
I don't
like you're
notice
far-
anything.
too
I'm
far
40
down.
feet up.
you can roll perception. They,
I'm 40 feet up. I don't care.
you're kind of 40 feet up. I mean, you could probably see it, but you have to be like looking for it.
21.
Ganlin, you're next to it, so you're
Oh,
next to
you
the
said
ladder, so
damage.
you should be able to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, just roll damage.
I got 16 for perception.
wow.
16?
I
Yeah.
still need to roll.
You can hear the ping, ping, ping. I mean, the sound of it is, it echoes kind of throughout the hill, but you can see it.
Sorry.
What'd you get for perception?
I asked if I still need to roll it because you said I should be able to see it, and then you didn't say anything, so I
You
never rolled
should
it.
be able to, but
Probably not.
what'd you get?
6.
6? Yeah.
She's too focused on
You can
throwing the
see the frogman in the distance and a loud pum 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 coming from that direction.
I just turn to Faye
This is
and I
what we
say,
do
how
instead
is
of
Slaker
class.
making that noise?
You know, I've learned not to question what's
Yeah.
I rolled an 8
For damage?
for damage.
Okay. You're just kind of denting
Wait,
it a
so
little
do I
bit.
see what the armor looks like?
The chest plate?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the shin guards. You can tell that it's.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, what is
Steel.
like after the like pounding?
Oh,
I
she-
wanna like
what is-
slash
what
it
is
with my
the-
She
claws.
smacked it like
No, I'm still going.
100 feet away or something.
Maniac.
Is it like misshapen now, or is it still just like the chest plate?
You can't see that.
Oh, okay.
You can see that she's attacking. So he's attacking the plate itself,
So he's.
but you can't tell exactly what shape it's in, if it's holding up. So
I'm gonna go walk over. just
okay,
like it.
it's like 100 feet away.
All right, I'm gonna jog.
Okay.
Can I slash it?
You can try, sure. Are you trying to like impregnate it?
No,
gotta
I'm just
clarify.
using my
Spawn
claws.
armor.
I know that you
Spawn.
can. I just don't know if you're trying.
I'm using my claws as a weapon.
Gotcha.
Damn it.
Okay. Yeah, you can try.
Far.
I'm gonna have you roll to hit for your claws.
Here.
Let's see.
I'll grab
There's two things
add
left
my
for it.
toes.
14.
14.
It's buildings, but they're rocks.
I mean, you're still smacking it, but it seems like your fists were more effective than your claws
I'm
were.
just rampaging.
Okay.
That's pretty interesting.
Toes approaches.
Okay. Is there dents in the armor?
There's a couple, but they're not deep. It's kind of hard to bend armor through punching it with your fists.
I'm like half disappointed, but I'm also like, maybe you tried kicking it. You could make a bowl.
I'm like,
Right now, you're like Wolverine swiping at it, and it's not doing anything.
you know the point when you're like on a rampage and you start slowing down for like extra dramatic effects so that everything, and I'm just like, and I'm just like shouting and screaming.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kick it. As suggested.
Okay.
I'm hoping it becomes a space cup.
You kick
You
it.
know what I mean?
Roll strength.
You hear what I said?
Yeah, I hear what you said.
It's not gonna happen. I
Trust me,
know.
it won't.
Yeah.
I have stats for these things.
18.
Wow.
18.
Yeah.
You kick it, but not as far. You're kind of getting worn out by your endeavor.
Yep. I'm gonna follow it and just. Actually, I'm gonna run after it, and as I'm like running, my pace is gonna slow to like get heavy walking, and I'm
Like,
gonna polyform into the half elf, and I'm just gonna sit down, and my eyes are just all teary.
Half elf is square, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, halfling is
Yeah,
squire.
That's what I meant. The halfling. I can
Ah.
only be a halfling right now. I'm sorry.
It's all
Gotcha.
good.
I was emotional.
Right here, what's going on over here?
I just.
That's a lot of fun. Now,
That's a lot of fun.
just gonna stand over here. My sweet king's clothes. That's another stupid Nord. Check them out. There's a many places. I got a lot of sweet robes except for one place, but we're not going to talk about it. Gambling scars. I think I need to work on my magic a little bit. Anyway, nice armor you got there. Very awkward. Alright.
I'm thinking at a slow rate today, so I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh shit.
Jan, what are you doing?
I'm probably just watching this whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sheep is next to you, kind of like batting at your foot.
Can you
Where-
understand him anymore?
Slaker's how far away now?
Like,
Yeah.
like 100 feet,
Okay.
roughly. Within shouting distance.
I'll walk a little closer
Okay.
to more easily be like, hey, come here. You got somewhere to go.
Okay. You shout this at Slaker and Toes.
Yeah.
That was a very quiet shout.
Hey, come here.
Well, I was gonna walk a distance first. I figured that'd take a turn.
Well,
Come on.
you can walk your movement speed and shout. It's fine.
Okay.
Unless you're sprinting, in which case you can sprint and then also shout. I
Okay.
expect a little bit of panting involved when you're sprinting and shouting.
Sprout.
Expensive shot.
Yeah, I'll walk towards him and say, hey, you guys. But not really. More like,
But not really.
My back is totally to everyone, right? So like the armor's in front of me, and then everyone else is behind me.
If you choose to, if you're just kind of going over and then squatting, it's the watchtower and everybody at it is kind of off to the left a little bit.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to sync up mental images.
Okay. Jan approaches.
Oh, I'm just bawling. Like
Just bawling?
just like
oh. I thought you meant like,
tears.
Yeah, things aren't too
Oh.
good. I don't know what's going on. Like being a priest, you think you help people that need your help, I don't really help people that need my help, so I don't really know how to, so maybe, you're a knight, dude. You just go console, say a few nice words. Don't be mad that your armor's totally fucked up now. Just say it.
Just broke my armor.
Well, I thought you would take it. Oh. And now my head hurts. So just go do the job. I'll be over here. Worst case scenario, I'll turn into something cool or funny.
very well.
That's a great idea, actually. Go do your thing, and I'll do that later.
Okay.
Do I hear all this?
Roll perception. Disadvantage. When you're in your own world, you're kind of in your own world. Meanwhile, Faye and Gamlin, what are the two of you doing? You're at the top. You've tossed everything down.
I want to start climbing down.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll start climbing.
You can hear them talking, but as far as the specific words,
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna climb down.
Oh, it's to me, not to them.
for you, yeah. So, Faye, you're climbing down. Gamlin, you're also following behind. Alright, Jan, Toes.
Alright.
Great.
I'm gonna
yeah.
push Jan to go speak, and hopefully he turns away from me.
Wait.
So are you not looking at me? Alright, good. I want to use disguise self again.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like,
Does Slaker know what ghosts are?
I want to be a guy in like a big cat costume.
You're
Just
gonna
be
be
like,
furry.
it'll be like Toe's face. No, like you'll see my face like here, like in a cat's mouth, and it'll just be like
Okay.
around me. And it'll look really dumb. It'll be baggy, and I'll be like, cool.
red
How will
orange
this help
face.
again?
I'll say
Cheer
yes.
him up.
Oh, of course.
Squires
At the
love
very
cats.
least, like, you know
Yeah.
of them. But yeah. So Toes, you're as Jan turns away, you do what?
Turn to a huge like cat, but you still see Toes' face.
When you say cat, do you mean like
I'm like in a baggy
backseat?
costume.
Like it's
Like-
a backseat, which is a cat person, or
Is that-
like
no, like
an actual
No,
cat?
a baggy costume. Like it's just like a shitty Halloween costume with zip up in the bag, and I'm just standing up, and it's just like a
Like a
loose-
mascot.
Yeah, like a mascot. It looked like
Okay.
a cat mascot.
Like a Chuck E. Cheese
A cat
cat.
scar.
Yeah, yeah,
Is there a cat at Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
No,
No,
it's
like
like
that
killing
sounds really
everyone.
violent.
Yeah, be eating all the.
eating Mr.
Eating all
Mr.
the
Rat.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
Yeah.
pictures
You were
of-
eating Mr. Cheese.
That's why they're no longer in business. They got a
Mr.
cat.
Cheese himself.
I have to use a spell slot.
Got a cat
Stupid
that
shit.
eats
It's
the
just.
cat. And now the
Charles
cat is
E.
really
Cheese.
fat.
So that's down to what, 2 slots?
Yeah, that's correct.
Alright.
Hang on.
Yes.
You turn around and there's a cat man where a king once stood.
That's funny.
What do you think, dude? You think it's gonna work out? Think Squire
I
will
sure
like it?
hope so for this amount of effort.
Alright, I'm gonna approach Squire and be like, check me out.
Hang on.
Cat.
I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat.
Sorry, I had to quote that. You turn around and there's a cat man where a king once stood.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what I look like.
That's exactly
Oh,
what
God.
I was picturing
What is
purple
this?
and furry, actually. I don't know.
Honestly, I was too. I was thinking like
You're
something
thinking of
pink.
the.
Oh,
I was thinking more like the anime kind of like style, like the one
Right.
part in Fairy Tale where they're all
Whoa,
shit.
excuse me.
That's about
Against
Oh, yeah.
that's about what I was expecting.
Yeah, that's what I was
If
That's what
there
I
were
was
any
thinking. We're not
changes,
gonna
I would
set
think
separate
more
backpacks.
lower jaw. That's about all I got for
Here, let me
for
show you what I was
expectation of
thinking.
that.
Not
Okay, so what's
So you were thinking this.
So Jan, what are you doing?
Well, you were going to console this.
Yeah, kids love
I
cats.
was thinking that.
I don't know. I didn't think too hard when I did this. Like that.
Okay.
Squire.
That's what I was thinking when you said you wanted to be the cat.
I'm a full animal man.
This isn't cute.
Squire, look at me, I'm a cat. And then I'm gonna start like
Meowing.
mimicking a cat, like, crawling on the ground, be like,
You should
ah.
like lick your
Wow.
and shit.
Check me out. Look
He's
at
gonna eat you.
Ah, you can see my face. I'm toes. No, don't get me.
I don't know who that cat is.
Jan, just play it cool. Jan, get on my back and we'll pretend we're doing a whole like fucking thing. Get on.
Climb on.
Look at that. Alright, so Jan's on my back. I'm a cat. I'm like Squire, and I'm like doing this. I'm like, yeah, check that out.
But how have you not fallen through him?
Fret not. He's a magical feline.
Yeah, whatever Jan said. What are you talking about?
There's a sheep on its hind legs, just watching this unfold. And just goes.
I'd like to know what that snarky comment was.
I really
Same.
I'm gonna say, but ghosts aren't solid.
It's a costume. Not a cat.
There are no ghosts here.
What are you talking about?
Well, sure. Sniff, sniff. Wipe, wipe. I would actually be doing it. I'm just really low better tonight. But
Why does she think I'm a ghost? I mean, why does this like a thing I'm a ghost?
but
I'm a king. I'm a great artist.
We're alive. Oh.
I'm like still sobbing right away. This music is not.
I know, it's like very like.
I'm debating
You
if
need
I
the
want
towel
to change
falling.
it.
No, it's fine.
Because I kind of like the silly atmosphere.
Honestly, sir.
Do you mean the fallen tower?
What are you talking about?
Toad has indeed arrived.
No. Snip, snip. Cry, cry.
Yes.
No. I saw him die. I killed him. And snip, snip. Cry, cry.
Cry, cry,
No, what
cry,
the
cry.
I start like, he is here.
Thanks, dude.
This is not an
Listen,
apparition.
don't console me. Console the
Oh,
squire.
I'm showing that you are indeed solid, not an apparition.
Oh, okay. Except for the costume.
Of course, maybe you should. Your costumes.
It's a cat.
You are confusing the red being.
I'm actually a halfling right now.
Oh, the
Small boy.
small boy being.
It's boy.
The red-haired being. Small boy.
Still small red
You
one.
can see him kind of.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of looking teary-eyed in confusion.
So I don't know the tower fell on me, right? I still don't know at this point.
No, you don't. You could.
Could.
Well, this is awkward.
I mean, it kind of depends on your
Okay.
character's ability
So
to
I
pay
still don't know
attention.
what time fell on me, right?
That's kind of canon at this point, but it's based off of you, so.
No, I did see.
Alright, Jan, how about you get off my back for a second here while I stand up? And then I'm going to approach the squire and I'm going to say, alright, you get on. And it'll be much more fun. That's the whole reason I did this. It's like an animal farm.
I'm gonna like
You can pet the
With
sheep.
all of my
You can run
strength,
out the
like
cat's
tackle him in a hug.
Okay,
Never get anyone
Aw.
though.
Yeah,
Or
go
I have
ahead.
to roll for
Are you resisting?
Concert. Dex.
I'm like, no.
Strength save.
It's going to be surprised.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, you successfully, very easily, just like side tackle him to the ground in a hug.
Also, is there any human sludge on him?
On him? No.
He's stayed away from that.
Yeah. Like the
That's
closest.
gonna do it.
Like there
Oh.
wasn't, so that's
Oh.
funny.
To finish my statement, the only sludge that actually got on him is on his lips, but I imagine that was wiped off at some point.
Should I try? You never know.
Unless it's like,
Or like spat.
No.
like a, what do you call those things? Life, what do you call those things?
CPR?
No.
A
Lip
lip
gloss.
gloss?
No. You eat them.
Lifesaver.
Jolly Rancher.
Oh.
Jolly Rancher, my lips are just like blue now. But I am a cat man, so it's alright. I'm just gonna
Anything
assume the
goes.
tackle is related to cats, and that Slaker just wants to play like cats, so I'm just gonna start rolling around and be like, like a cat. That's my plan. Be like, see, yeah, Slaker gets it.
Slaker didn't get it.
Snickers.
So you tackle me. And I
Toes is
start
rolling
rolling.
around the floor with
Or
cat
do it
costume,
like-
and there's just somebody playing
Making
the
cat
play.
noises.
No.
This demon's trying to make cat noises.
I want to acknowledge what's on this playlist.
Meow, meow.
Just someone is a cat rolling around in a field with this playing.
I'm picturing it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks, random playlist, you beautiful creature.
Now, Jan, get in here.
I'm gonna call 5-minute break. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So back in
Come on.
9:15. You guys haven't even started combat. Oh,
Yeah, we haven't done anything.
Yeah, we
What I'm
don't.
trying
We
to
don't really do
say.
anything. We just do some weird ass shit.
No more kicking the armor
Yeah.
around.
That's exactly.
Let's try to
Time
speed
to
things
go.
up and then I turn
No
into a
more kicking
cat
the
and
armor.
think about how that would
Yeah.
react to things. That's alright. I shouldn't drink that beer.
Emily,
What?
why does this have a phone line in it? Can you ever
'Cause
plug
why
a
not?
phone into this?
I don't know.
That's
That's what
great
we're
if you can. It's
You might be able to.
it's pretty cool. I like things with
Clear-headed most of the day.
weirdly enabled.
I know. Yeah, I don't know if it's phone or
Take a nap time. I got 5 minutes.
A little bit.
like
I legit
first
fell asleep earlier while you guys were talking.
Oh, I got
And all of a sudden they're like,
comics.
Slaker, and I'm like,
Almost
where are we?
Well, yeah, just not. Yeah.
This is all I read. Whenever I have it. It's just not-
Garfield.
Everything.
All the
Garfield
comics.
in there.
Yeah. I forget what Garfield is.
see if I can find a picture of what I was picturing.
Are you talking like full-on furry?
That's good.
Like those foxes?
This is not gonna come up with good results, so just gotta wait till I find it.
Okay. So how you liking the events are unfolding? Yeah, you like it.
Look, I have my spell slots prepared, so.
I'm prepared. I just wasted one of them. I was like, no, this will be funny. And then I couldn't think of anything, and I was like, nah, I really don't.
I'm just kind of hoping you don't die. You plural, as a group, as a whole. That's what I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Living that vape life.
It's a bear.
You guys ever seen that Andy Kaufman skit where he sings Mighty Mouse?
No.
Basically, he stands on stage and then turns on the Mighty Mouse theme song,
Yeah.
And he just stands there really awkwardly the whole time. And then when it gets to the part, like the main part, where he goes, "Here he comes to save the day." So it's just playing like on a stereo next to him. He just stands there like this, and he goes, "Here he comes to save the day."
And
that's
keeps
it.
standing
Yeah, and he
there.
just goes right back to it. And he stands there.
That's great.
You should watch Andy Kaufman. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a living. No, he's not living anymore. But he's a
Not
human
living
being.
anymore, but
I can't find what I was picturing. Dear Lord, what is this? That is terrifying.
what?
I've seen that before.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Is he on a tricycle? I always imagine that he is, but he's not.
Can't find it.
What are you thinking? Let me see if I can reverse engineer what you were thinking by what I was thinking. Oh God, I wish I would type this in. Alright, let's hope this doesn't get explicit. Fox furry.
Oh no.
Can't find any purple ones. I should just add purple to it and then I'll probably find it.
Like, legit, this is probably
Okay,
the closest
well-
right now. Except for purple and cat shaped.
Oh. I was gonna say like
And, like,
this, but
teeth.
then. Is that? Not that one. That one.
No.
Not that one.
But not a fox, but a cat. I hate it.
One of these days, I'm gonna get myself a flask like Scanlan, like Sam Riegel.
You know, like
Yes.
those hats, like sort of like this, except for that have like teeth here, and then it's
Oh,
got
like the
like a
Cowardly
jaw
Lion?
strap, and it's got like a teeth here, and then it's like purple.
I can see that.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah, I didn't know when I said cat suit. I was like, oh God, now I gotta try to explain this.
I was picturing what you said. Like, as soon as you said it.
Why?
We're good.
Why?
What'd you find now?
This is what I'll get one day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of those. That's
Yes.
what I'll get
Furry?
someday. Just one of those giant
Oh.
ass flasks.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it is. Unsettling.
Cats? What?
This picture.
So Spider-Man furry, which makes no sense because
Spider-Man's
wouldn't be a
already
spider.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
furry?
yeah,
Spider-Man already kind of is one.
Yeah, exactly. Spider.
Tarantulas are furry, so.
That's true.
Like,
You think you would try to look more like a tarantula?
well, yeah.
If I'm scared.
But then people would know for sure that he's furry. I mean, he's like a closet furry. Your dust bunny.
You're a dust bunny.
Okay. Doesn't mean much to me.
Damn it, he's in the bathroom. I'm annoyed.
You're not straight.
Yeah.
Sean still gets mad at me over that.
Should I text him or Snapchat
Yes.
him right now and be like, "You're not straight"?
Do it.
Yes.
Take a picture of it for the Snapchat.
And then during the taco bar
Like
one
zoom
time,
in on it.
I slapped Calvin as hard as I could on the stomach because he was like, I bet if you hit me it wouldn't even hurt.
it's like
So
Houdini.
I slapped him as hard as I possibly could. And he
Did it
stood
hurt?
there. Yeah, he stood there for a second and he was like, And then he turns around and he's like, ah! He's a special one. Okay, just sit there like normal. Tell me my line's not straight while I'm drawing.
My line's not straight. It's crooked. Like
3,
bad politicians.
1. You're not straight.
You're not straight.
Is that how you wanted it?
You're not straight. You're not straight. You're not straight.
So is this getting added to that little video video
my tiny
picture diary
If you send it
thing
to me,
that'll
it
happen
will.
at some point?
Can I send it over Snapchat?
No,
Oh, you have
gotta,
to text it so I can save it.
Yeah, you gotta save it and send
Otherwise,
it.
I'd have to use a screen recorder, and that's really hard with Snapchat.
Look at this guy.
You're not straight.
You just like keep
You're
doing
not straight.
Crazy. Get down here. Oh my god.
It sounds like Sean.
That's perfect.
Wow. Oh, what did I send her?
Do it in reverse.
Nick, what did I send you earlier today?
Here's our going.
Here's our road.
Serious, alright. So me and my cousins did that for like hours one day. We like said stuff and
Oh,
then reversed
I know
it
what
and
it
then
is.
said it in reverse to see how well it would come out.
I can know my name backwards.
It actually worked pretty well.
You're not straight.
That's what I said.
What'd you say?
I sent Nick the
Oh yeah.
the Worcestershire thing, and he responded, "You bet your sweet ass." To which I sent back, "You bet your sweet ass."
You would.
Oh my gosh, Emily, do you remember Lord Tourette's?
Yes.
That's immediately what I thought of.
You have a family story? You bet your sweet ass!
Didn't it spring? I was just fucking. Oh my god. Oh god, Lord, you've. Ooh, when was that post? It's almost 10 million views. Wow. Yeah, that was 2011.
Oh my, I was in 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah, so in 7th or 8th grade, somebody posted stick figures. One of them is known as Lord Tourette's.
Oh god.
He has Tourette's.
Okay.
And my god, it is hilarious. It is a terrible series. I love it.
Tiramisu.
What else? The raccoon is Japanese. Tiramisu. My god, Grayson, what are you doing in there?
Pooping. I hope not because I really have to pee.
Okay, well you'll go next.
I don't want to after
Rip
him.
mine.
Especially if it's pooping. Ah.
It's fine. I'll just hold it in like I have been for the whole of my life.
I have kidney issues. I can't do
Just
it.
implodes.
I will.
It's like a chocolate fountain. But not chocolate.
That's fucking gross. Did you have to take it there?
It's so short. It's so red. It's so short.
You should just stand up there and start banging on the door like,
There's
dude!
Hot chocolate after that.
And it looks like he took his phone too.
Well, what?
Did you put
Slow
him?
poke.
Yeah.
God damn. See, most people will be like, no.
So we're 4 minutes past when I said.
Now I
Are
have
you
to.
going to the
Now I have to
bathroom?
wait for it to like air out.
Alright. Monica!
I know.
Let her make her hot chocolate, man. We can never take just.
No.
We can never take just 5 degrees. Let's be real.
That's a 6 minute.
Wait, did you guys ever see the video of that guy trying to do the Disturbed karaoke? Went down
Yes.
the yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah, I see that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
That song
Alright.
shouldn't be on karaoke.
So,
So we're rolling around.
kiss, kiss, kiss.
What is kiss?
the two of you are rolling around in
Spawn.
the field
You
like
can't hear.
Anakin and Padme in episode 2.
Oh,
Face
God.
still in the tower.
You do realize
Jan
it's a
is
small
standing there
boy.
awkwardly next to a sheep who's sitting there awkwardly munching on grass. probably said something snide or sarcastic under his breath, but you can't understand him because he's a sheep. Faye and Ganlin are now at the base of the watchtower watching this all transpire like 100 feet away to the northwest. What do you guys do?
I continue to go around.
Jan, what are you doing?
I'm gonna let them just finish this.
The sheep
You're
pats
gonna
on
let
your
them
leg.
finish.
I really
He
just
goes,
went for a hug and then it turned into this and I don't know.
Ship.
Because I'm a cat.
He
Come on.
likes to play wrestle, didn't you
King
know?
Cat wins.
Yeah, King Cat wants to slice. I'm gonna wave to Jan.
Yes,
Be like,
Chief.
Come on. You cheer up the squire.
The squire is plenty cheered up, aren't you, squire?
I mean, tears are dripping from my eyes.
Regardless,
Joy.
Come on.
feel better once we start moving, which we must do in
I
that
really just want a
direction.
hug and so I don't know what to do.
I mean,
I-
you got the hug in. You just kind of rolled
Kept
with it.
rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna
Tumbling.
stop rolling and just kind of go limp body.
Oh.
I'm
You
gonna
have
stay
a
there and be
half-leg
like,
potato sack. Weighs like 200 pounds.
playing possum, are you? Then I'm gonna take you by your clothes with my mouth and then try to lift you.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Break
You fail
your teeth.
spectacularly.
Yeah, of course I
I
did.
know what your strength score
I
is.
know, I was never gonna succeed.
You just want to
Your
try.
teeth break.
Going to get up and walk away.
Look at that. See, Jan, I told you I'd cheer the squire up.
Oh, very good.
Alright, now get me out of this costume.
You just got into the costume.
I know, I just wanted to see you try. Anyway, I'm gonna turn back into Toast now.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh no, my cat.
Yeah,
Anyway, Sheepman is anxious.
thanks for indulging me.
We all have a job to do. I hope you haven't forgotten.
Yeah, I did.
Very well. Our job is to kill this apprentice. This way.
Wait, I thought we killed the apprentice.
No.
Who's the orc we killed who got the gold pieces?
He's
from?
hired by the apprentice.
Oh.
So about this human jam.
Well,
Oh, now you're interested
we
in human jam.
suppose he was killed. Being hired by the apprentice. Sheepman, regardless, offers reward for transporting him back.
Money, right,
Yes, or
right.
money or whatever.
Do we have bottles for the jelly? I was thinking of money.
Check your inventory.
I'm not gonna check
I don't have any
inventory.
I don't
That
have
was
any
cat.
bottles. I don't have
I don't
anything
have
like
anymore.
I know,
I
I
don't-
just wanna tell you.
Damn, it's ox sheep. What happened?
Did you guys know that I'm actually a cat normally, and this is my different form?
That was just easing us into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
You
Costumes
know, that
just.
might have happened to Slaker, and then he fell unconscious.
So he.
So he.
With you being like just a gaunt old man
What?
way back when you were first introduced.
Oh, the skeleton?
Yeah,
Yeah.
could have just been. At that point, he could have just been like, a skeletal looking old man thing. Maybe slightly rotten if you like showed some sleep.
Give him some sleep.
And then he passed out and turned into a frog. And that's when it all changed.
I'm gonna turn around and walk with purpose towards Toes and then slap him in the face.
But you're short right now.
I try.
Yeah, you can do a little slap.
Oh,
to get up
fine.
there.
I guess so.
Slap his chin.
Small child can reach it.
What was the slapping for?
And then I'm gonna point my finger and say, "You are never allowed to die again," and then just walk away.
Can I ship it?
The code for
Which
turning your
direction?
cat, I don't understand what Slater's talking about.
Like, just continue west, or do you go south? Do you want to roll
I
it?
don't really have a direction. So,
I'll roll it.
2. Oh, D8.
Yeah.
4.
Okay. You're heading back to the watchtower.
It's always the fucking
So
one.
I'm just
Gammon,
like,
Gammon
so
and Faye.
about that human jam. You're never allowed to die again.
Goes back towards the human jam.
Gammon and Faye.
Oh god.
There's a halfling walking towards you.
We're just gonna move out of the way. Just kinda.
I'm gonna move out of the way, but kind of like try to trip her with my foot.
Let me rephrase. There's a halfling about 100 feet away from you, approaching you.
I'm
I'm
just
just
gonna
gonna
walk
keep walking.
over.
I'm gonna keep
Walking
walking the way I'm going.
Which
Like
way
towards
is
the
that?
other people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
follow Gamblin.
I'm like, pick a direction or I'll roll it. You'll just go into the woods
Not
randomly.
walking.
I've got a D8. One is north.
North. North side. We from the north yet there.
So you just kind of approach. Slaker,
Yeah.
Meh.
Gamlin and Faye are approaching you as you are approaching them / the tower.
Good cat.
Do you just pass?
I actually want to pick up one of the shin darts and just stash it in my bag, and then I'll follow them back.
Alright.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay.
Was that me?
No.
You put it in your pocket.
No.
What do I do with my
It's not heavy enough for encumbrance. What?
No, what do I do if my equipment
No, it's
is
not.
full? Are there more lines that you can add?
I just go over a line to proficiencies and just write it there. Yeah, that, I don't like how the inventory thing on that works. On Roll20, they have a thing where you can keep adding inventory spots, which is nice. On Mythweavers, they don't have that option. Anyway, you pick up a shin guard, put it in your inventory.
And then I'll just walk back to the group.
Okay, Faye
Chill.
and Gamlin, you're approaching the sheep, the Azamar, and the tiefling. It's literally an angel and a devil on either shoulder of the sheep.
I want to pat the sheep's head.
I just look at the sheep and I go, "You're doomed."
He looks at you.
And I just pat his head as well.
Slaker is going to triumphantly declare, Gatlin has lost!
Oh, she touched the sheep.
She talks to the sheep.
Gatlin has lost the drinking game. Slaker is triumphant.
Gatlin is not drinking.
What about the human goop?
You do what you want with that.
I feel like we should gather some human goop for Slaker, guys.
I mean, we're already walking away
Slaker
from
can
it.
gather goop herself.
It's
His self. So
Whatever
his
it is.
self.
Themself.
So his self. Hers.
Are we ready?
Hers.
Shall we
His
leave?
hers.
Do you have what
Hers.
you desire?
His her.
His
Scissors. His are self.
Are you ready?
I've apparently done
Mr.
enough foolish shit
Wenceslas.
today. I'm ready to go.
His her! We're off!
Is there?
Good.
His, her.
His
His her. His her.
Sir, we're off.
Where are you going?
Southwest.
Well,
Cool.
we should go towards the east, guys.
No, southwest. The
Wait.
tower. We're not. No.
No.
more.
Town!
Slaker immediately turns
tower-
around and starts
tower,
walking
we're
back
on a
where he
mission.
just came from.
Well, we've been
See?
to town.
I still want to know what happened to my little BB Dragonborn. But you know, that's fine.
Well, let me explain things.
Last you know, everybody was chasing after it into the woods, and then you saw a bright flash of light, and then
Okay.
you were on top of the tower.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
You don't know where the Dragonborn is, nor the woman accompanying him.
Well, I'm worried because my BB Dragonborn. That Dragonborn was my BB.
Yeah, wherever you are, you're not there. You're not where you were as far as like chasing after him. There
I'm
was
just gonna-
also Barad, the ranger, who you also don't know the location of. Nor the gnome.
I wanted to fuck
Whoa.
When
What
we
did
get
you
there,
just
Nothing.
bring some good
The
there.
dragonborn?
No!
He's a child.
No, the Dragonborn was my baby. He was my
You
child.
gave birth
Could you
to a
imagine just a
dragonborn.
half scaly, half skin, pointy eared thing?
Would be adorable.
You just write the
I think I'll just
letter.
house
Just
rule
like-
that the genetics are compatible enough.
Oh, that's good.
I
No,
and
thank you.
you.
Anyways, So, Jan, you're just walking off towards the southwest, leading the
beckoning
group.
and continuing to call it again. This way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jan.
Yeah, fine. I guess I'll follow. Just kind of like crestfallen.
It's been hours.
Don't
I'm
worry
gonna
about
take the front charge of the group.
Okay.
You can see the tower
Are
from
you
where we are, right?
just following where Jan's pointing, or?
I'm like walking right next to him.
Okay. Cool. As time presses on, eventually you see a kind of taller wooden structure. It appears to be maybe like the base of a very large tree with a couple of ramps that kind of lead to smaller trees that have also kind of been cut short off to the side of it. Next to this larger tower structure, you can notice a couple of smaller buildings, just like almost shacks. They're not very well kept, kind of off to the side of this larger structure. As you approach, there's the larger central kind of circle where you imagine most of the stuff is, and then there's a taller one and a shorter one that are kind of offshot from that. And the smaller one has a ramp that kind of leads up, so it kind of progresses almost in a half spiral.
Cool.
And then smaller, like almost shacks kind of scattered throughout. There's two very small ones and then one that's kind of like a medium size. What do you guys do?
No one here, right? Or doesn't look like
This
it.
is you guys seeing it at a distance.
We can't see anyone from now.
This is, yeah, you haven't approached through the trees close enough to see if there's anybody.
It's
kind
not.
of
It's not
bouncing
dark
around.
yet, is it?
No, it's like maybe 2 o'clock in the
Oh, okay,
afternoon
good.
or something.
Just checking.
Yeah. You guys left at about noon, and then the tower stuff wasn't very long after that, and then between you guys getting there and dealing with the aftermath of whoever you encountered that took your elf, that's where you guys are kind of sitting at now.
Okay. Let's keep going towards the structures.
Okay, you just jaunt up,
Yeah.
normal speed, full force.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Unless there's some high ground.
It is the high ground.
Ah,
It's on top of the hill.
okay.
Okay. You
That's
you
beautiful.
slowly but surely approach, and as you do, you can see what appears to be two.
This is from Sean.
Screenshot that.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, good.
We saw a screenshot.
You guys approach the kind of the center of this tower camp, I'm gonna call it. And as you do, at the base of the ramp that kind of leads up into the larger structure, you can see what looks like two fully armored apes that are kind of just standing there with pikes, one next to the other at the base of the ramp that leads up into the main structure.
I'm gonna, as soon as we see the people, I'm gonna say, you guys stay here.
I'm gonna say, Gammon doesn't do apes.
They very much notice you as you
Apes.
approach.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk up in my halfling form
Mm-hmm.
and say, good day.
Isn't that what he said he looked like?
Is there any way? I assume before I leave. I assume we're trying to get to the top of this spirally thing that's been guarded.
Yeah.
As you approach, you notice that they were like playing dice or something in the grass kind of lawn area of this larger tower, and as you approach, they kind of stand at attention and kind of hold their pikes in hand.
Yep. I'm just gonna say, good day in my sweet little halfling manipulative
voice.
self.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll deception.
Picture for everyone.
Picture for
Get a reminder.
Just square boy.
But I'm not trying to deceive them. I just said good day.
Good day.
Yeah, and walk
Take
past,
roll
right?
deception.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm just stopping right in front of them. Just
Oh.
good day.
You're in front of. Okay, so you greet them, and then the two of them look at you. One of which, as soon as he sees you, just is ready to strike but hasn't attacked.
I'm
He's
gonna
just
go.
kind of pointing threateningly.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Wow.
The rest of you guys, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of watching.
Yeah, I don't
Just like I don't really know.
involved right now.
Yeah, like they look like they're
Might
they
just
don't want to.
like attempt to pacify, just kind of whoa, easy there.
I'm gonna say, do you know what happened with this town? To the 8 people.
They look back and they're just like,
Still pointing the thing at
oh
me.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm just gonna sit down, cross-legged right in front of them. Just put my hands on my knees.
How far away are they from me?
Oh my gosh!
What?
If I were to give a distance,
Fight a whole town of apes. It's not gonna go well.
probably,
Uh,
probably like 40 or 50 feet.
Okay. So I will. I'll just take out my knife and my dagger and my rapier and I'll put them on the ground. I'll just kind of put my hands up.
Oh, great. We're on the same
Okay.
page for once.
I wasn't gonna attack them anyway. My God.
Okay, do you just approach unarmed?
No, just kind of stand where I am. Maybe I'll go next to Slaker. So yeah, I'll approach and I'll go next to Slaker wherever Slaker is.
So I'm gonna
So yes, you do approach.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm
You
gonna
approach
lean-
unarmed.
forward to them and say, "Are you a talking animal as well?"
No.
Let's
I'm gonna
do
translate.
for yes and for no.
Oh God. So they're idiots, basically.
One says, the other says,
Yes, no.
Were you playing a game?
same response.
Duck, duck, goose.
Can I play with you?
One scratches his head and looks at the other one. The other one looks back. And picks up a die and hands it to you.
How do you play? I'm gonna stand up
Play
and
D&D
grab
with
it.
these monkeys.
He goes to hand it to you,
Uh-huh.
and you ask, how do you play?
Uh-huh.
And then he like closes your hand and then motions it to fall.
Okay. On a 12, that was a 9.
9.
On a
12.
I didn't roll a 20. Did you want me to roll a 20?
Roll a d6.
Ooh,
Okay.
perfect.
5.
5?
Yeah.
One of them gets really excited. The other one is just standing there like... And he picks up the die and he rolls. The other one looks... You see a 6.
So... Again? That's a 6.
The other one grabs his pike and motions at you.
He thinks you're lying.
And he goes and picks it up and he rolls again.
Sees your roll as a challenge.
You look down and you can see a 1.
Cry.
Can they play?
The one opposite.
These are my friends. Can they play too?
The other one, just with his pike, looks at like the bushes about 30 or 40 feet away and just points at the 3 of you. Yeah, he just sees the 3 of you kind of poking your head over the bushes a little bit.
I wait.
The one over here.
I have a feeling that one's kind of an idiot.
I have the feeling that's the one who went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of the idiot.
I like him.
I like him too.
Let's keep.
I guess I will. I'll approach. And also
They are
sit-
armored.
No.
Oh, we should have kept the armor, goddammit.
No, we're fine. I'm gonna approach and sit cross-legged next to the squire.
The squire's not
Okay.
standing, so we're about the same height.
Then
Okay,
I'll sit cross-legged anyway.
You go and sit next to the squire. He still has like his pike pointed at you.
I'm gonna hand toes the die.
Okay. And I'm gonna whisper to the squire and say, "Is it better to get a high score or a low score?"
High winds makes them mad.
Well, do we want to lose then?
Yes. Does it matter?
I mean, maybe they got a lot of spears.
Yeah, 3PO and another campaign is like, let the Wookiee win. God. Anyway.
Because based on your discrepancy, I can do this. Then the number will be bigger or smaller.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, hopefully that doesn't piss him off.
What'd you get?
Got a 5.
Picks it up and rolls.
You
You got a 1.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the dice.
You got a 1?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna grab the dice and try this time.
Gotta wait till we figure out how to win the game.
I got a 1.
Just make it look like a 1.
Is it 1 or a 6?
What did you get, Faye?
I think he likes that guy.
Hold on, what are we winning?
Okay, I'm gonna pick up the die.
He wants us to lose, so we have to
what do
try.
we give them if we lose?
He grabs it.
We
and
have human
rolls
goop, I
instead.
think, somewhere.
What did you roll?
He got a 5.
Can I pick it up and roll now?
Huh?
Can I pick it up and roll now?
Yeah.
1.
The one next to him is just kind of watching this all unfold, like.
That's like, holy shit. Mind blown.
Can we make it more fun? I'm gonna. 6. Can we make it more fun? If we win this next one, can we pass?
Enter the tower.
Gavin, when you come through, bring me my weapons.
Why do I have them?
I dropped them like near you guys
Oh,
because
no,
I was
no,
trying
no,
to
no.
look like
And let them put the die in it for
non-threatening.
confirmation.
Bring them to me.
And then I'm gonna
I'm
hand
like
it to
trying to like
Winston's boss.
whisper this to you.
Okay.
No.
Technically, tell us it's all
Please.
good. I go by Rochester.
Oh,
Gavin, please.
I'm gonna use minor illusion to make it look like a 6 on the
I'll
cover.
give you
Okay.
20 silver pieces.
Perfect. I got a 1, so.
Okay. Was
Maybe
that
too
the roll?
cold.
At the actual roll?
The actual roll is a 1, but I'm gonna
Okay.
minor illusion it and make it look like it's a 6.
Okay.
Brilliant.
What's your
Actually,
spell save? I think? I'm pulling up my illusion just to double check.
13?
13?
Yeah.
That's great.
Stupid.
I'll do that.
Alright, so
I'll give it 2 gold.
the one that's been pretty active with the pike looks at it and goes. The one that's not been as active kind of looks at it and is like. And he like picks it up to like look at it like. The other one is kind of like upset by this and goes and he grabs it and then rolls it really quickly. It's also a 6.
Tiebreaker.
Just going around.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it this time.
I'm still gonna cast minor illusion.
You Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
But it's
It's a
illusion.
6 now.
Yeah.
Is that a
Just go
cantrip?
roll.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Praise.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Both of them are looking at it
Less.
like. Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
one
I'm
more
gonna
time.
grab the die this
For
time.
confirmation. There
You gotta blow on the dice.
Are there any superstitions I picked up from the Feywild?
Dude, that's up to you. That's you and your character backstory.
Okay, I'm gonna go. It's a 3, but illusion 2.
He picks it up really frantically.
I saw that.
I saw that.
I would just point at him.
No.
Could I have seen it from where I'm at?
The two of
I
you are
just
still in the bushes.
Yeah.
Bush. I know that's why it'd be funny. I shot from the bush. I saw that.
You can do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stands
Do I
at
at least hear
attention.
them saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
hear
well then I
it.
joined
Yeah.
in.
You
Pointer.
can't see the results, but you
Oh.
can hear everything that's transpiring.
Okay, then I just joined in and I'm like, I saw that.
We're all just pointing at him.
He points back with the spear, and then he hears, I saw that, and he points at the bushes in the distance.
So we had a deal?
I'm gonna take out my violet and point it at him. I feel like I need a weapon. And I don't have any weapons right now.
We can pass.
He motions at the ones in the bush to come out.
Bushlings, come hither.
Don't forget my weapons.
Ganlin is not a bushling. And then I walk down.
We emerge.
I have phase weapons.
Almost sounded like a spell. I have phase weapons. Okay, so Ganlin approaches.
Would you
He's still pointing it at
would you like me to play you a song?
No.
The other one is just kind of sitting there like, and goes to like pluck strings.
And
on
I
the
like hold
violin.
it towards him. I'll just start like plucking the strings and like a cute little melody, just like dun 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 dun.
I thought yours too.
It was the Pirates of the Caribbean.
The other one is still pointing at Jan in the bush.
Yawn.
I'm entertaining.
Hold on.
Hello.
Wait a minute. I have an idea.
Friend.
Are you approaching? You're still like 20 or 30 feet away.
Oh yeah, I'm approaching.
You approach?
Yeah.
Okay. The sheep follows along, and he looks at you and Gamlin like as you approach, and he's just kind of staring like, and then he sees the sheep, and then he goes, and then goes to attack you guys.
No.
Hide the sheep! Hide the sheep!
Hi.
Start playing!
I'm gonna start playing a very nice melody while also casting bardic inspiration.
The one that's next to you is just like.
You have my rapier, my dagger.
We can't
Those are the only
sell
weapons I have.
I was thinking about turning a spear.
The one that's next to you
I like to
is
pretend
just
I'm
like is like sitting there like enjoying the the medley
These
that
two
you're
legs
playing.
out.
Just
That's brilliant. I'd still do it.
Javelins, whispers.
the one with the spear, just like runs at
All of our weapons
you
are bananas
and
now.
goes to
Start
attack.
getting-
Oh,
Can I try to
it's
get
like
out of the
here.
way?
Right on.
That would be your AC.
Okay.
So
Through the
he
back of the
You
head.
have
hits.
to tell Sacred this idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Hits.
die because of a sheep.
He hits with his crappy little spear, and he deals 7 piercing damage. It just kind of pokes into your shoulder as he just stabs into your shoulder. The other one is just sitting there like,
I'm just playing along, distracting the other one. Just kill him!
The one, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
playing for the
that's-
one.
that,
Wait, how
I
many
feel like
I'm
are
keeping
in
him
front of us?
distracted.
what?
How many are in front of us?
There are 2.
Oh, just 2.
I'm just playing for the really stupid
Okay.
one, and the other
There's
one
one
kill
that
him.
was basically playing the game, and then the other one who's just watching this all unfold.
And I'm keeping him entertained.
I'm gonna lean over to the squire. You're probably not gonna be too happy if this works.
We're
But
building quite the
I'm going to whisper to Squire, hey, if you got any sharp
Oh.
objects,
Yeah.
I have a plan, just lay them out in front of the monkeys, make sure they get their attention.
I'm gonna pull out a javelin and lay it down.
Okay, and then I'm gonna make it, with my illusion, I'm gonna make it look like a banana.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lay it down. I'm gonna keep holding it. Be
Well,
like,
then
whoa, 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 peace, peace.
Okay, and then the tip of it is now a banana.
Okay, the tip of your javelin looks like a banana. The one that's sitting there and is very enthralled by the music, sees you walk up with a banana and is just like,
I'm gonna pull it away. You have music. This is for your other friend. You'll get one. You'll get one. Oh my gosh, I want to kill him so bad.
the other one just stabbed her. Anyway, your guys' turn.
No, I'm looking at the one that just stabbed her and said, whoa, 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 peace, peace.
Oh, he's like,
peace.
he's way past you at this point. He, as soon as
So
he
he doesn't
saw,
go for the banana.
no, as soon as he saw the sheep, he
Starting to look
charged
like
off
fools.
and then impaled
Okay,
Gamlin in the
fine.
shoulder.
And I'll be like, okay, this is your gift. This is your gift.
I'm trying to find
Come
out
get
where
it.
she's luring me.
And as he comes closer, I'm gonna start backing up, so he starts coming at me with speed.
Have you seen this?
And then all of a sudden,
You go to attack him?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll a hit.
Just a quick stab through the back of the head. And all the way through. Oh.
I don't suppose I can get advantage for the clever shenanigans.
I say.
To gain the speed, I'll say no. Because you're running backwards.
I'm like pulling it away so he comes faster.
Yeah. Because you're kind of delicately maneuvering that to get him to move faster towards you, I'll say no.
The answer is gonna be no. You don't have to.
But you do get a free attack, in which case he just doesn't get around because it's a surprise
strength.
round. Or he is surprised, I should say.
13, 14, 15.
15 to hit?
Yeah.
That'll hit.
The monkey is gonna be a
Give me a key.
The monkey.
turns close to the
Yonkis.
banana and then
Can he use my illusion on my D6?
It's a big
for
banana.
every
It's a
time?
big banana.
That's a bad banana.
Uh, 10.
10
10.
for damage?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Damage dealt. You
Yeah, this is
just
awesome.
shank him straight through like the sternum. He's not down, but he is hurting. Following
Big
that,
oof.
I'm gonna leave the javelin in.
Jan, Faye, and Gamlin have a turn.
Okay. I want to put my violin away and run towards Gamlin because she has my weapons.
Okay.
As far as I can get.
Against the monkey.
Okay.
To be stabbed.
So you run over towards Gamlin's.
Yeah.
Somebody else is charging at me, so.
I'm sorry, I need weapons. You have my weapons.
Pleasure to
You have my weapons.
Yeah, you can make it to Gamlin just fine.
Lid, I want to grab my weapons from her.
I'm kind of like defensive because she's running at me. Like
Just
somebody else just
They're
did.
sitting there, they're spelling.
Okay. Yeah, you're.
Where's this
You can
Where's
grab
this,
them.
yeah,
What?
that's it. Yeah, it's a spell.
And that's my turn, right?
That's your turn.
Let,
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, Gamlin and
I don't let
Jan.
her grab him.
I'll be right
He's
back.
still charging at us, right?
Which one's
You already stabbed Ganlin.
You stabbed Gamlin.
Yeah.
First door on the
First door on the left.
left.
Yes.
Yep.
I could have just looked.
It's okay.
All right, Gamlin and Jan, what are you doing?
Who goes first?
Either.
I'm
Because
gonna.
we're doing the freeform initiative.
Oh.
Getting your initiative rolls is figuring out if the two of you are trying to do something at the same time, who goes first?
Okay. I guess I'll attack back. I'm gonna use
At which one?
I'm gonna just stab her.
At which one?
The one that just stabbed
The
Gamma.
one that just stabbed her?
Yeah.
Okay. Also put 1 and 2. Number 2 took 10 damage.
Okay.
In case you hadn't written it, because I doubt you did.
No. To clear some of this.
Oh yeah.
We could write the scores in the face too. It's not working. I'm
I
going
need
to
new
hold it the
marker.
other way.
Oh.
Do you actually?
Sorry,
I have
Yes,
multiple
it's not
markers.
working
Yeah,
very
I
well.
actually do.
Here.
Oh, thanks.
This is done.
He's good.
I'm like, mine works just fine.
Okay. I can use a Wrathful Smite after this too. If I hit.
Can you do that?
I think so.
Musician.
It's only spells, so.
But do you know how it casts?
How and which way?
I mean, what's its casting time?
Oh. It's pretty much instant. One sec.
Whoop.
So, casting time. Jan, this is part of the things that you should know as far as spell casting. And I'll actually open that up to the group. Casting time is very important.
Yeah, it's a bonus action, so.
Yeah. So you haven't
that's
spent
right.
your bonus action yet. So you can attack and then, or you can bonus action attack in order to get the benefit, or you can just attack, bonus action, the next time you hit with a melee weapon, it casts.
Okay. I'll do it on this one.
Okay, so bonus action. You cast Wrathful Smite, so go ahead and knock that down the slot.
Okay.
And then it requires concentration, so roll to hit.
Okay.
You have to roll with melee, so
I did roll.
what'd you get?
12.
12? Does not. So now, you still have Wrathful Smite cast, but you're concentrating on it, so if somebody hits you, then you have to roll to continue concentrating on it. If you fail, then your concentration ends and the spell kind of dissipates.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a buff until your next hit, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. So, following that, Gamlin.
I also want to attack the one that attacked me
Okay.
with my hand axe.
Okay.
That's a 21.
21 to hit.
Yes,
That'll hit. Roll damage.
7.
Number 1 takes 7.
Yep.
Okay. Following that, monkey turns.
Oh my god. Why?
Maybe. Let me go ahead and roll that. That's. Ooh.
You can roll well in dice, but not in D&D.
How much health do you have?
Same problem with me.
How much max health do you have?
11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not dead,
Great.
but you're close.
Great.
Where you at?
I didn't even want to come out of the bush.
You're at 0.
Okay.
Because he crit.
Of course it did.
The other one goes to hit you back.
Yeah, it's not.
stab him in the mouth with the banana.
Right.
Slaker, 8 piercing damage
What is
as he pokes you back.
Is that different than regular damage?
It's just damage type, so
It's-
if you have
yeah.
resistance or immunity, then you can
Yeah.
figure that
So,
out.
for instance, Barbarian's Rage. So most physical damages, piercing, bludgeoning, slashing,
Oh, yeah.
while raging is.
Oh, I'm not raging.
You're not raging yet, no. While raging is halved. Other items might give you bonuses, immunities, resistances, so on and so forth.
Alright.
So, like, in
It's
red,
basically just me labeling what it is. And
I
then you
have
something.
resistance to poison damage. That's
Yeah. So if someone were to try to poison the halfling, it would be less likely to succeed because
Okay,
of
'cause the
her
resistance.
racial bonuses.
Right.
So he's racial bonuses. So, following that, that's their turns. Your guys' turns. What do you do?
Well,
Galen's out. Galen collapses.
I'm gonna attack that beastie.
Which one?
The one that attacked Galen.
Okay. To get to the one that attacked Ganlin, you'll pass by the silly one and invoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna attack the silly one with the
feels
not
irrelevant at this point.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a hit.
I need my good dice. There we go. Ooh. That is a 18.
18. Now hit, roll damage.
Yeah, that is a 9.
9. Okay. Number 2 takes 9 damage. How much health is it at?
19.
19?
Damage.
19 damage? Alright. You kind of stab it in the back and it lets out a painful and then collapses to the
Nice.
ground
I'm just gonna
unconscious.
say, I'm really sorry.
Not really.
I
Okay.
am. He was enjoying my music. He was just having a good time, man.
I wanted
His
that.
Okay.
friend had to be an asshole.
You apologize as it passes out, unable to hear whatever you're saying.
I'm okay with that. It is for my own benefit, not
That's
his.
fair. Alright. Following that, who's up?
The dumb monkey was really pissing me off, so I'm just gonna like gore him with my claws.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna go.
This is getting personal.
Yeah.
This is
He
no
was
longer.
just enjoying some music,
Oh,
man. He was just
Oh, he's
enjoying
dead.
life.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he
Bless.
did.
Got
There it
this.
is.
Bless your face.
If you sneeze.
Oh,
Hang on.
Okay, while Gamlin's figuring out the claws.
I'm Slaker.
I'm not
Slaker.
doing anything with
Am I
claws.
close enough to get to
Gamlin's
Gammon?
got claws too.
Are you close enough to
Physically touch Gammon?
Mine are
to
meant
touch
for-
Gamlin?
Yeah.
You can get close. I think you're still all like.
Yes. Yeah, you can make it there.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't
Can you really get
invoke
close
an
to
attack
that?
of opportunity because the one that would
Is
follow
dead.
up on that
He is
has gone down.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use Spare the Dying for right now.
Okay.
Spare the
Because Gammon is unconscious, right?
Spare. Yeah.
Spare.
Okay.
Wait, can bowling?
Yeah.
What does this mean for me?
It just means
You don't have to roll that
yeah,
saves.
death saving, yeah.
Hey.
You live,
Okay.
basically.
But I'm still 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're not conscious.
Okay.
You're
We'll
just
get you later. I
not
didn't wanna
dying.
pick
No,
you up
I
in
just
the
wanted to
head.
make sure of what's happening.
Okay. So
I'm
that's
gonna rage and
Toes'.
use my great axe.
Okay.
Do I have to roll?
To hit the body. No. You just deal damage.
Al Pacino, see that?
No. Oh, yeah.
5, 6,
That
7.
sounds familiar.
Oh my god.
Great
Look at that axe.
Great eggs. It's a good
11.
movie. I really
11?
like that movie,
Yeah.
actually. Thank you.
Okay. You start to bloody the
Oh,
corpse.
Scarface. That's the only one I've seen with him.
I guess I should say unconscious body.
Well, now
Besides
he's dead.
We're not
Movie
quite
Rolling
there
Scarface.
With him, like,
Hold on.
her
Let me
thing.
double check coup de grace
Frickin-
rules.
God, I
Following that. Toes went. Gamma collapsed.
Oh,
Yon and Faye, what are you doing?
Jan attacks the one I missed last time.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Shit.
Is it my turn again?
16.
It's your guys' round.
Oh, true. Okay.
How about a 16?
I'll hit.
Alright, I'm gonna attack with longsword.
Okay.
Lit.
Alright. 9, and then
I think 1 is a long time ago.
that's 9 damage plus, hold on.
Okay.
Shit. No way.
We're fine.
Smite does how much again? I can't see it on this list.
Smitten.
1d6 sidekick. Additionally, if the target's a creature, it must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened by you until the spell ends. So it needs to make a wisdom save.
That was a 5 for the extra.
Well, it passes the save. Does it have damage? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so how much damage has it taken thus far?
This is number 1, right? Or is this 2?
This is number 1.
1 has taken 7 so far.
Plus what you just dealt.
Right. Yeah. 9.
The important part,
Plus
what did you just deal?
14.
14 total?
Yeah. If we're not having anything.
This is also very confusing.
14 in grand total, it goes down.
Woo!
Like the top one.
I get it from this side.
Hell yeah.
Yawn goes sicko mode. Bow. Squeak it on. Hashtag ASMR mode.
There we go.
Scourge mode.
Ah, okay, cool. Slaker, you, because it's a coup de grace, you can choose to crit and instant kill.
Damn.
Yeah.
The claws.
Is down.
No, I'm using a great axe.
Oh, great axe this time.
Great axe. Great axe and
Can I decapitate his head?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's getting dies.
How it works is, you get an automatic hit. I wasn't sure if you get an automatic crit, and it is a yes. So, you get an auto crit, which means you deal 22 to it, so you get decapitated. So, your axe comes flying down straight through its very, very, like, thin, uncovered neck area where the armor isn't protecting, and just
Body.
Has the
Pops
body
right
been
off.
bloody, or is that instead of blooding the body?
the body has been bloodied by the fact it's been decapitated and impaled
Okay.
twice.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's bloodied in that sense. But yeah. That said,
Are you done? Will you pick up next time?
Oh, I got it.
Oh.
the two apes, the two apes are down. One is completely headless. The other one is just kind of going as business goes. Following that, there's kind of a little bit of an eerie silence. Your rage ends because
Can I
you're
go
no longer in combat.
decapitate the other one while I'm in a rage?
No,
Is the other one still alive?
because it's what it says: 1 round of combat without being attacked or attacking something.
It just says 1 minute
There's a
per long rest.
I'm double checking. I'm pretty sure it ends if you're out of combat. Basically, for lack of a better description.
Rage.
You have to like circle around them.
Lasts for
until
1
they run
minute, ends early if knocked,
Oh, and when you said
knocked
cut his tail
out,
off, I thought
or
you meant
if you haven't
6
attacked a hostile
I'm so
creature
confused.
or taken damage.
Okay.
So you have not.
Well,
So
can
your
I
rage ends,
decapitate him anyway.
but you can do that.
But you can't.
You can decapitate him, you just can't be raging while you do so.
I can emotionally be raging, just not
Just be
barbarianly
angry, yes.
raging.
Yeah, you can't be frothing at the mouth and going full rage mode.
Yeah, I'd like to decapitate him. Can I use my claws this time? Just like saw.
I mean, I'm not stopping you.
Yay, thank you.
The sheep's cowering in the forest.
That poor sheep.
Bring the sheep.
That
Bring
poor
sheep man.
What do you do?
I'm gonna pick up the heads and start walking up the ramp.
Oh, cool.
Uh-oh.
What
Sheep
what
man
do you
is
roll with your
safe.
claws?
Oh, I have to roll.
Because you auto crit, but you still gotta roll.
I want a comfort sheep man.
Sheep man. Oh, I heard sheep man.
You guys
Seven.
don't even really
7
believe that he's
times
sheep.
2, 14.
I was was unconscious for most of it, so I don't really know. I'm just kind of meh. Live life, man.
The rest of you guys see the halfling approach the he walks past, because you're in halfling mode, you walk past the decapitated one, and he goes to slash at the one that's on the ground that is still breathing but is unconscious, and gets most of the way through the neck,
Oh god.
but hasn't decapitated it.
Oh god.
It is spurting blood.
Oh god.
I'm just gonna keep going unless someone else takes the turn.
No.
I refer to the others.
No.
As far as decapitating,
I'm just gonna,
Decapitating a helpless opponent. Yeah.
I'm gonna just walk away and go towards the sheep to comfort the sheep. Cause poor sheep man, and I am not going anywhere near all that blood.
And note to self, not turn into an ape at any time.
Apes are annoying.
What's everybody's alignments?
I'm chaotic neutral,
Chaotic neutral.
which is
Good.
hilarious
Okay.
considering how like nice I
I'm
am.
lost.
Okay, you're both neutral now. You let this frogman halfling decapitate two helpless opponents.
Seriously.
Oh, I didn't think I was close enough to do anything.
You
Yeah,
very much were. That's why I deferred to you. Anyway, yeah,
You
you're
were
both.
never
You're
lawful,
now
let's be real.
neutrals now. Lawful neutral and chaotic
We are a
neutral.
horrible.
Oh, so now the whole group is neutral.
Yeah. we are all
None of us
neutral.
are
None of us really care at all.
No, I'm just putting this out there
I feel
as
like I care
these
the
are
most
what
to
your
be
actions
honest.
have indicated thus far. You also let the frogman kind of just chop down
Yeah, you guys just
a
gotta let him do
watchtower.
it.
That was like strike one.
While I'm up in
I
the
was
tower
scared we'd stop.
unconscious.
I egged it on.
You just shouted.
Yeah, I was up there. I was on it.
Anyway,
could've done
as a
something
whole,
more.
I'm just
Jumped in
putting
and
that
knocked
out
him
there.
out.
You could have, climbed down.
Anyway, I'm just putting that out
And I
there.
went smacked him.
Well, now you're
So I
neutral,
have two
so
heads.
welcome to the group.
Now I have the two heads.
You have two heads.
Oh god.
you. I'm gonna start walking up the ramp with the two heads.
Oh god.
Okay.
Lord.
You walk up the ramp with the two heads. At the top of the ramp, you just see.
Well, when I get halfway up, are people following me?
No.
Mm,
I'm getting the sheep.
I refer to other people.
I'm not.
Like I said, I'm getting the sheep. I'm just kind of patting the sheep's head.
Okay.
Just, like
Am I
stroking
not
his
still
fur.
passed out?
His fleece.
You're still passed out.
So how would I have stopped her
Yeah.
That's fair.
from beheading?
That's fair. You're still chaotic good.
There's hope.
There's only good left in the group. You are now our voice of reason, Ganlon.
Last time I
don't have much of a
decapitated
voice at
someone
all.
in a game, I shifted the entire party, and the only good character died, and we were about to go evil.
Oh god.
And then the DM had to bring him back as a ghost to like reshift us back
Oh
good.
god.
So that's what happened last time I decapitated someone.
Anyway, a lot of you
So,
can be
note to
evil.
self,
I'm
don't
just
do that.
saying that that's on you guys.
I'm perfectly happy just kind of living my life.
So you're neutral.
Yeah, I am neutral. But I'm also chaotic.
Yeah.
But I also care a little bit more than neutral people. But that's just because that's me.
Anyways, so
Your-
the rest of
your
you guys, you have an
300
unconscious
questions
Gamlin
score
on the
test,
ground.
like, indicated
Combat has
otherwise,
ended.
You're totally neutral.
Slaker is going
You're
up the ramp.
entirely neutral.
I'm stopping halfway and turning around and being like, well, are we bringing the sheep?
That's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna use cure wounds.
Indeed, this is the man we're trying to help.
Galen.
I'm just patting
Okay,
him, patting
go ahead
him,
and roll.
just kind of like
Let me see what
coaxing
it
him
is real
out.
fast.
I'm just having a good time with the sheep. Pat, pat,
1d8.
pat.
Okay.
Need sheep.
What's on the d8 again?
The
This
the pyramid
Oh,
one
that's
thing.
it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
2D4.
I was looking at the one that was right there.
2D2.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, basically. It's more like a D5.
Okay, so it's at 8.
8. You take 8. Help that.
Except this one has 4
You're
sides. and
Very
this one
good.
has 4 sides. So it's more like a
Very
D5. But I don't know if a D5 actually.
Alright. So, Slaker is halfway up. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm gonna try
Definitely
and
bringing sheep.
yeah,
up
I'm
the,
trying to coax the sheep over
up
to
the
the ramp.
tower.
I'm gonna go with wherever Slaker's going. As long as Galen's up, I'm good to go.
Gamlin, are you?
Galen's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Galen's
He
up.
thinks I'm his
You're up,
apprentice, but really,
Gammon is not very good, but Gammon
he's
is
my
up.
squire.
Yeah.
Alright.
My square.
No.
So, Slaker, you're getting to the top of the platform.
No, I'm just gonna wait halfway for everyone to catch up.
Okay.
I just coaxed in the sheep up the ramp.
Okay. You're coaxing the sheep.
Come on, sheep.
He's kind of hesitant.
It's okay. I'm just gonna like pat his head.
The shit.
Ganlon
Pat,
is
pat, pat.
hesitant.
Pat, pat, pat.
Is the sheep not going?
Not to your knowledge immediately, no.
Don, what's wrong with your dumb sheep?
What do you ask?
First he wanted us to go here, and now he doesn't want us to go here. And first he was talking, and now he's not talking. What's wrong with your dumb sheep?
I can no longer understand him. I do not know.
Pick him up.
Yeah, touch him again.
He's a little sheepy.
Reach to pick up.
Where are
sheep,
people?
man.
You were unconscious about halfway.
I feel
Jan,
like I'm
where
like,
are you at? You're back at the bush.
Yeah, I'm with the sheep at the bush.
You're halfway up the ramp.
I'm near the bush, right? And
You
like
were-
halfway between the tower and the
You're
bush.
kind of halfway,
Yeah,
unless you move. Toes, where are you at?
I moved. Yeah.
I'm heading up the ramp.
Heading up the ramp?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back for sheep, man.
That knowledge was standing. Jan, you were the closest. Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
We're doomed.
We're always doomed when it comes to him rolling perception.
His raw was a 3.
Yeah, mod 1.
Cool. So I'm gonna count this as you are surprised.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Yay.
That's never a good sign.
Let me just casually replay this.
I've got 2 of these stuck together.
Your AC is 17 moves. Cool. Out of the closest small shack, the
I feel like this is
door
a
kind of
big
like bursts open, and what you can only see is like a line of cloth kind of attached to the foot of what appears to be a large brown bear. Not the same one that you guys encountered. This one seems a little bit more grizzled and kind of scarred. Kind of bursts out of this wood shack with some cloth kind of stuck to the back foot as it rushes out and goes to swing at you. That said, go ahead and take 5 damage as it claws at you. Your guys' turn.
We just can't get a break, can we?
Big beer.
Okay.
Someone was going to the
Toes,
bathroom.
are you coming?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take him and go up to the top.
You guys see the bear
Oh, the bear is there.
rush out to attack Jan.
So if he's attacking you, he's pretty close to me, right?
That was at the bottom.
He's
of the
within melee
stairs.
of you. He's
Okay.
within melee of Toes.
Well.
Actually, yeah, he's in the middle of everybody. He's in melee of pretty much everyone
How
except Slaker.
about I cast Dissonant Whispers? Because I still don't know
Slaker's
spell
only
slot.
melee.
Okay. What's the range on that?
60
Did
feet.
you throw your
Cool.
spear?
Yeah, you can make it.
Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one time. Damn.
So, body.
That's
That's exactly what happens, though. He was in an outhouse.
I thought when you said cloth on his heel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a cloth on his heel.
So the question to the bear is shit
out.
is maybe?
Okay.
Outhouse.
So. Discordant melody to one creature within range that can hear, acting with terrible pain, must make wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
If they fail, they get 3d6 psychic damage. And
What do I
must
have to beat?
immediately react.
Dumb.
What do I have to beat?
So it's my
Spell save DC?
13.
13? Okay, fails.
Yes. So he gets 16 psychic damage, and he must immediately use its reaction, if available, to
16,
move
you
as
don't have to
far.
roll for that?
3d6. I already rolled.
You
Okay.
made some spooky noises.
So,
and he
16.
runs off.
And he has to use his
Just write
immediate.
bear,
Yeah.
16.
Has to use its immediate reaction to move as far as its speed allows away.
Reaction? Cool. It's already moved.
Yay!
So,
16
can't move any
seconds.
further.
Woo! 16. I'm actually really proud of that. Goddamn.
Cool. Okay.
Spells, man.
So, your guys' plural turn. Faye's gone. Jan's been surprised.
Yeah.
I have 2 slots today.
That's not out of the ordinary.
No. Alright, you three, what are you doing?
I'm gonna say, Toes, are you coming?
I will make my way up, I guess, but can I... this is like the dumbest shit in the world, like in my brain, how it's gonna happen.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Guiding Bolt as I'm like walking up, so I'm gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna I'm just gonna keep walking.
Okay, go ahead and roll
Like,
it.
okay.
I'm pretty sure that's a to hit spell.
Yeah, let me take a quick look at the
Alright, while you're looking that up, Slaker and Galen, what are you doing?
I'm waiting to see what Toes does.
I have to make a ranged spell attack and...
Toes says he's walking up and going,
Walking with?
walking up and shooting over his shoulder.
Okay,
with a
once
bolt.
he gets like a few paces behind me, I'm just gonna turn and start walking up the ramp.
Okay, so you continue up the ramp.
Should I do a d20 for Guiding Bolt to hit?
What does it say?
Oh, let me take a quick peek. It says, make a ranged spell attack against
Yes.
the target. Okay.
D20 plus your spell modifier.
Okay, 15. Oh, no, just kidding. Okay.
Alright, so 17.
17. Pretty sure that hits.
Show me
Yep.
on my-
Okay, roll damage.
So I'm going to do 4d6.
Those are regular ones.
46. Is that a level 1 spell?
Yeah. Yeah. 4d6 of radiant damage.
Oh.
Oh, man, this was normal.
I mean, mine was 3d6 and it's a level 1. I was pretty proud of it.
Oh, I was thinking the 46. Alright.
So that's going to be 12 damage.
12.
damage on the
Okay.
burr.
What's it at?
It's
Also, it says
28.
so then the next roll
28?
made against the target has advantage.
Cool. Okay. Galen, you're up.
I'm gonna go follow after Slaker and Toes.
Okay. If you do so, you evoke an attack of opportunity from the bear.
Walk
You
away
can also
really
take your action to
casually.
disengage.
Okay, I guess that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Shit, what's good?
I don't know if everyone
Is it
knows
a
about that.
spider?
Yeah, that's what I
Probably
said.
not.
No, I didn't. So yeah, I'll guess
So I
I'll
walk
just.
in,
Disengage
shot at the
and
same
just walk
time.
past.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
two actions.
Cool. Alright. Bear's turn. Taxion. Yawn.
What?
Hi.
Hi.
It's going to bite you.
Alright.
It bites you.
Okay.
12 piercing damage.
Alright.
How much health do you have?
Well, I'm at 3 now.
Yawn's not doing so well. Alright. Following that, your guys' turn.
Thanks.
Hey, I
Does the
heard it.
magical sheep do anything?
Sheep's cowering in a bush.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Jan is
What a
homeboy. Right. Am I in shouting distance?
Yeah.
Whatever, I'll just throw spells from a distance for the rest of the game. I'll use Healing Word on Jan.
Hey, you're
Okay. What's the range on that?
Let me take a quick
3 million light years.
30 feet or 60 feet? That's what I need to know.
60.
60?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll reach him.
I can't
Okay.
think of a spell that's only 30 feet. Except
There's
for
a
touch.
couple. A lot of cantrips tend to be.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Alright, let me see. My spell mod.
Pretty sure Presty is only 30,
I'm
for
pretty sure it's
example.
Big numbers.
Thaumaturgy.
Large numerous.
I'm trying to think what else there is. A lot of spells. A lot of lower level spells. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah, you said.
7
health. Yeah.
And then there's Eldritch Blast, which is just like,
Fuck away
30
from my
feet,
bear.
60 feet?
Fine.
Nah, 120. Fuck you.
Kill it.
Eldritch Blast.
I had
Warlocks are great.
I had distance spell and careful spell, so I could literally hang back like 300 feet and just attack and not even hurt my party members. It was great.
Something we did for spring break one shot is one of my friends was a warlock, and so he just kept going Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, and then finally enemies ran up to him to get into melee, and he's like, Dimension Door, 5 bajillion feet away, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, and then he kept running up to him, and then he's like, oh no, they're coming at me, Dimension Door.
That's
He
like
just
how I
curls
used
away.
to play that
Eldritch
Naruto
Blast,
game.
Eldritch
Remember
Blast.
that?
Oh gosh, it's yeah, it's cancer.
Do you remember how I used to play? I would just shuriken
At
what
a
you call it?
distance.
Yeah, and then as soon as they like got sort of close, because I played the masked man, I would like just chain them and crit, and then just start like shuriking again, and like no one would ever play with me.
Okay. What'd you get?
7.
7?
Yeah. You
Take
take
7.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So that's Toes' turn.
Yay. Yay.
I'm just gonna keep walking to the top.
Alright. Well, you're kind of on a platform. On this platform, it looks like there's a couple of smaller trees that are growing out of this wooden, what looks to be like a larger tree trunk, but smaller trees are growing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then off to the side, there seems to be the next ramp that kind of leads into like the big trunk. And at the top of it, there appears to be a door.
Yeah, I'm going towards the door.
Okay. You're just casually, leisurely walking over towards it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're most of the way there. Okay. So that's Slaker. Who's up next?
I'm just
I'll
following.
go next.
Okay. What do you do? You're being mauled by a bear. Literally.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
got a
gonna.
+5 to hit that son bitch.
Yeah, fuck.
Go
Yeah.
brown bear.
It's not.
Oh boy.
It's not cure wounds. Oh. Can I use lesser restoration on myself?
Which does
Heal.
4.
Oh, it's not those. Sorry. Yes, I'll use cure wounds.
Cure wounds,
Yeah.
not lesser restoration.
No,
Because
because it's for conditions.
there you go. Cool. Okay. Yeah, you can use cure wounds on yourself.
All right.
Okay. You just cast it at first level.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
1d8. That's a 10.
Push him on.
Yes.
The important part. That's where you get it to roll real nice at higher levels. It's all about the mods.
It's all about the sub-air.
Summon.
Which one is your
Oh, what do you
Alright,
use?
while Jan's doing his thing,
Rolling.
Gamlin and Faye, what are you
Rolling.
doing?
I'm
Cure
still
wounds.
following up to the platform.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
And the bear's dead, or is he?
Okay, so you know what I said about how you're
Yeah.
chaotic neutral?
Yeah.
You're chaotic neutral. Your
Yeah.
friend's being mauled by a bear. And you're like, eh.
And I was already pretty much there, so.
So he is still
Why
being
don't
mauled by
I
the
get
bear,
an
so.
alignment shift?
Cause you're chaotic evil.
So
And you're chaotic evil.
I
That's
wanna.
not changed.
Good.
I wanna
I don't
stab the
have
bear
to
with my
think.
rapier.
Thank you, because it's like
Okay.
actually in there.
Go ahead and roll it.
It's supposed to be right here.
How'd you get?
So there's
I got 21.
21 to hit. Roll damage. What am I feeling?
I got 7.
Oh,
Uh,
Willy Wonka.
Nemo.
Willy Wonka. No,
Or,
that's shark bait. Ooh ha ha.
yeah.
No, I'm thinking of.
maybe this is
What'd you get?
7.
7?
Yeah.
Hey, Jan. 7 damage to the bear.
Okay. That's a 35.
35. How much did you heal, Jan?
Couldn't find my mod. It wasn't printed properly, I think. But yeah, roll 7. Alright, so it's
Yeah, I don't think it's on there.
So 2, 4, so mod,
cool.
and your saves 8 plus 6.
Thanks, baby, for the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
This is currently. That updates as you level.
You want to hear a funny
But there you
story?
So
So-
13.
Fire
Yeah.
Sarah took me to a speakeasy. I was gonna order a bar
Pretty
dealer's
good.
choice, and
Alright.
Jen was like, "You have to tell them what
That
kind of spirit
brings
you want."
me
I was
up to
like,
full health.
"Okay, it's
Oh
gonna be like
gosh.
sort of sweet and aroma." And then the chick gets up and she's like, "So what kind of spirit base do you want?" I was like, "That's a different question." Okay, rum. I was caught off guard.
I thought that was clear. Because we were in an
What kind of
alcoholic.
spirit do you want? Well, something nice and warming, kind of spicy, but a little bit sweet.
Kind of spirit
Makes
do you
sense.
want?
Thank you.
At least it
I
wasn't
got
like,
it.
what kind of spirit do you want? Holy? Could have been that one. That would have definitely made her think that you were some like Amish.
I was also in my choir dress, so I probably looked like a freaking Mennonite.
Yeah,
Something.
exactly. That's the word.
It was really funny. Anyway, yeah. So you heal it. Are you at max health yet?
I am now.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. You're at max health.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Ganlin kind of approaches the bear, and in a scene kind of reminiscent of the ROUSs in Princess Bride, it's just kind of a and then he collapses to the ground.
Does he twitch?
Yeah. So the bear collapses. Now
Did I kill the
unconscious.
bear?
Do you need this number?
Or
Unconscious.
I got it written down.
That's like
It's
the
down.
second person today. That never happens.
What?
Yeah.
I unconscified 2 people today.
I don't think that's a word.
Unconscified.
That's unconscious.
I
You know,
unconscified.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
And I was like, what?
It's basically you know like
People.
conch shells. You
Yeah.
unconscify them.
Yes.
That's how it is.
I
That's
made
how
up
it
the
is.
word, okay? But no, that's the second person I made go unconscious today, and I'm really proud.
All right, Slaker,
See,
So
you
happy
have
for me.
approached the door.
who's with me still?
Ganlin.
I don't think I'm all the way up to
Yeah, again, there's definitely
Yeah, just gambling.
What happened to Toes?
So he's kind of stopped
Yeah.
halfway up.
Toes is being
Yeah.
a semi.
He was kind of like,
Yeah.
yawn.
damn it. I hear
I'm
you.
like close, right? I was pretty high up on the ramp.
Yeah, you're basically at the top of the ramp. You just didn't get across to the platform to the second ramp.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
We'll get there.
So, Gamlin and Slaker, the two of you are at the top of the ramp. What do you guys do?
Sorry, can you say that again? I can't.
You're at the top of the second ramp.
Uh-huh.
There's a door closed
Door?
leading into the second part of this larger kind of tower, wooden tower thing.
I knock on the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on the
I
door.
go.
I go.
Okay.
Very good.
Call response.
I'm gonna roll. Oh, god damn it. Alright. You hear a hello? Hey?
Hello?
Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Good day.
Hello?
Who is
Hello?
this?
A halfling? What are you?
Half elf.
And a half elf? We were.
I'm gonna assume you say that out loud.
Yes.
Okay.
Who are you?
I care less about what you are and more who you are.
I'm the squire.
Oh god.
That is a position, not a name. You have a name,
What was your fake
Fred?
name?
I didn't have a fake
Yeah,
name.
you did.
And that's Ganlin.
She had a fake name.
Scanlan.
Yes.
Roll deception.
No, I said, and that's Ganlin. I didn't.
Nope, roll deception, it's done. Roll deception.
I mean, I could have said that if you want to. That's kind of funny, but
That's on you.
I was gonna
follow
say,
through
and
on.
that's Ganlin.
It's Scanlan.
And that's good.
Oh, and that's Scanlan, eh? Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh boy.
So you're alive then? Like you're actually in this town?
Who?
What kind of question?
Who are you looking for?
Maybe you?
Okay, that's kind of a weird thing to say.
Very.
Classic Canadian.
Well,
My name's Ami. What are you looking
He's
for?
Canadian now.
How can I help you? That's what I rolled to see if you look.
Don't you mean the door would
That's
be
the
open?
voice.
do you know anything about the human jam?
Oh god.
It's more of a jelly.
Are you grape or raspberry?
Human.
I don't know. I didn't actually taste it, unfortunately, but I'd like to get some more.
Oh god.
We don't want more.
Well, unfortunately I'm not necessarily an establishment for selling that.
Are you human?
Oh god.
Yes.
Don't.
My
You done
name is
fucked up.
Ami. And then it's Scanlan and who?
the squire. Can we stop talking?
But wait, that's still a position though. What's
Yes,
your name, friend?
my king is lower. His name is King Wenceslas. I serve King Wenceslas. I am the squire. Can we
Squire
stop?
Wenceslas.
Oh, a king.
Can we stop talking
What?
through the door,
What?
perhaps?
What can I do for a squire of a king?
How about a kindly gesture of opening the door?
Yeah, I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm kind of waiting for my friend Guz.
Guz?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's looking for someone.
Who is Guz looking for?
What does he look like?
He's looking for a friend of mine.
What is Guz?
Guz is a person.
A human person?
person.
No, I'm not sure if he's a full orc or a half orc. He's not a person.
Who is Guz looking
He's
for?
a hired gun named Guz.
So he's not your friend.
Guns
he's
aren't a
looking for your
metaphor
friend.
people know about.
He's Slaker would know the difference.
Yeah.
So he's not your friend. He's looking for your friend.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Can we help look for your friend also?
Perhaps. I mean, are you asking for money? Because I'm kind of short.
Gammon is short too.
We are all short.
Hmm.
No, I'm asking for a kind gesture of opening the door. I'm tired of talking through wood.
Like, there you go.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna open the door. I'm still waiting for him to show up. Once he gets back, then I'll be much more willing to accommodate you and your folk. Meanwhile, the other three.
Am I there yet?
What?
Am I there yet at the door?
You're approaching?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You hear? I'd be much more willing to accommodate you and your folk. Is the last thing that you hear, kind of muffled through the door.
Ah, my king is here. King Wenceslas. Do 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 do.
All right. What's up, Squire? What's going on?
Sup, square.
That's not very kingly of you there, Wenceslas.
Listen, this is very formal, King.
Conception. Just right there.
Oh, damn it. Look.
Right. Sup, Squire? What's going on?
I walked out.
Could you make it a little more obvious?
What's up, Squire? What?
I
Nothing's
hate those
deceptive about that. So that's a 10.
Oh, you must be another one of your folks' party.
Yeah, I'm a king.
What
if
is
you don't mind?
a
No, you're
party?
not.
Oh, what are you, some fucking asshole on the other side of the door?
Wait.
Alright, what district are you in charge
What
of,
is
friend?
a party?
It's like a group of people, like all working together in harmony.
Can we be a party?
Probably not.
Why not?
I don't know.
Well, that reminds
Did you bring
me.
gifts?
Yes.
That
What'd you
reminds
get?
Offering.
Okay, that's basically just saying a gift. What'd you get?
I'm curious. Where would we put Davenport in the regions?
Davenport is very far south.
Okay, and what do we want to call? I want to put this in my notes, but like, what do we want to call the region that is being controlled by it? That it's within. I'm just really curious.
My brain just went.
Just give me a random name that goes with Davenport.
It's just the region of the Seven
Havendort.
Woods.
Region of the Seven Woods. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Havendort,
Alright.
Davenport.
I'm putting that in my notes, guys. I'm just really curious since we started talking about it. There we go.
Alright, how can I help you?
Well,
So you have gifts
I have an offering.
of
Blood.
yeah. That doesn't sound very appealing.
No, to
The
you,
blood
not
of Christ. I'm a priest.
But that's still.
You don't look like you got Christ.
So, okay.
But
I'm afraid I don't accept solicitors. I'm sure the apes tried to show you off.
Yeah, that's funny.
Can I try and heal?
you know those apes?
Can I try and
Yeah.
heal you on while we're talking
Well,
about
one of them was named Bob and the other named Joel, but
this? Joel.
but now they're apes.
So they were people.
At one point, yeah.
Was Bob a little Spacey.
Oh shit.
No, that was Joel.
So Joel's my favorite one, the one that was distracted by the music.
Well, Joel really loved some music while we were down there.
I bet he did. I didn't play any.
No, but the rest of my, what did you call it? A group of people all working together in harmony?
Yeah, they didn't really harmonize very well with me. I gave them some dice and told them to just kind of go hang out. I don't know if they still have both of them.
Yeah, and we played them for a game to come up this ramp to talk to you, and we won, by the way.
Well, that's good for you.
I think there's.
Well, that's
I'm glad to hear.
Can I take?
You're here too, but
I know.
Can I take Gammon and the squires away from the door so that the man behind the door cannot hear me?
Sure.
Good. Listen, remember the goop? Remember the weird transmog magic shit? Now we got a dude saying he's got monkeys that used to be people, and we had a sheep that Jan said was a person. What do you think this weird piece of shit behind this door?
Are you an animal?
Not an
What?
animal.
Well, you said the apes were once humans, and you are you an animal?
This is the
What?
Wizard's
No, I'm a
Apprentice.
human.
So then how did the apes become not human?
Probably through magic. That would be my assumption.
Oh, what magic?
Are you magic?
Jan and Faye, what are you two doing?
I've been wanting to heal Jan for a while, but you've been stuck
Yeah,
on
no,
full
that's
heal.
why I've
Jan's a
deferred
full
it to you
health
guys.
kid,
Oh, he is a full health?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's a full
yeah, see,
health.
I want to start walking towards the door of the ramp.
Okay, so you're approaching the
Yeah,
ramp.
I'm
Jan, what are you doing?
I want to join this.
Is the bear still
debauchery.
unconscious or is the bear dead?
The bear's unconscious.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
bear's
gonna turn
out.
back around and I'm just gonna stab the bear in the neck.
To kill him?
Yeah, because I don't want him coming back.
Okay.
It's a raging
So-
bear. She doesn't know he's a human.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. he's a
Unconscious
human.
on the ground. I'm just gonna point that out.
Okay, fine. I'll just go towards the ramp.
Yeah, I mean you
Okay.
can.
No, fine. Fuck it. I'll go towards the ramp instead of killing the bear.
All right, you just walk up the ramp.
It was a smart strategic decision because I didn't want a rampaging bear to wake up
Just
and
because
kill me.
it's a smart strategic decision does not mean it's ethically sound. I refer
I'm
to
neutral. You
Nazi
think I care?
Germany.
I
They
am
did
neutral.
lots of smart
I
strategic
am
decisions
chaotic
until
neutral.
Russia.
I do what
It
benefits
is not
me.
necessarily ethically sound.
Do you think I care about ethics?
Well, that would be the alliance.
That would be
page.
evil.
So
Okay.
yeah, are you
Yes.
actually evil now?
What
Well,
is-
I'm not. I'm going towards the
Stop it.
Well, fine. I'm going towards the ramp and I'll leave the unconscious bear alone. God. What if I just tie him up, but I don't have
But
any
seriously, if you don't have a surplus population,
You're
then you
right.
have less resources to spend. That is, technically speaking,
It is a smart,
terrible, horrible
strategic
thing.
decision.
Okay, moving
but
on.
very evil.
It's a smart, strategic
Just
Fine, I'll
make
just
a
go
good
towards the
decision.
ramp and leave the bear alone.
Basically, it's just.
I mean,
like,
if I was in Estes Park
evil
and
is
got in a brawl with a
utilitarian.
bear and had a knife and then I got the bear unconscious, I would probably kill it.
Because you don't want it like finding you if you're trying to run away and they wake up sooner
Right.
than you have time to get away. Then you're gonna kill it so
There
that
you
you
go.
can
I
get
don't want
away.
one bear to stay unconscious.
Yeah.
for your guy for meta for meta stuff, if someone falls unconscious, it's unconscious until awoken
Well,
in
fine.
this game.
I will leave the bear alone then. God.
We'll leave it at that. Free drawing something is left for
What if you just call it
legitimate
hunting at that
battle.
point?
Unless
I don't
you're
know
just
that
actually
argument.
just hunting.
claws.
I don't know
So
that.
moving on.
Moving
I've
on.
already lost track of the conversation.
Same.
Oh, I asked if he was magic. That's the last thing that happened. Okay.
Am I mad? Oh, you bet. I'm
Oh, you
very
betcha.
powerful. If you try to mess with me, I'll kill you.
No,
Fuck you.
I'm not. Wait, he said powerful.
I am very powerful.
How do you mean powerful? And I'm not trying to mess with you. I will obey you.
I can cast
Strong
very
obedience.
very strong, very dangerous spells. You
Have I reached the door at this point?
Can I go inside?
So I can
Sure.
hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask him through the door. So do you specialize in transmutation magic?
What are you doing? What is? Oh, I already know that. Okay.
Are you asking your die or
No, I'm asking her. I rolled 15.
15 for?
Insight. Oh, I'm very powerful.
Oh, I'm
You're
very
powerful, you.
powerful.
15.
Okay. I mean, as far as you can tell, you believe what he's saying. As far as what he's saying, he believes it to be true.
Okay.
He does think he is very powerful and in a position to just be like, fuck you. If that makes sense.
He believes it.
Well, I asked him if he
But do we?
specializes in transmutation magic.
I've got a couple things under my belt besides just that. I have a couple of other stuff.
So
Can you
I'm
turn a
at the door
halfling
now, right?
into a frog?
Probably, but I'd rather not waste, parts and components for such a trivial endeavor.
anyway.
If I can turn a halfling into a frog, will you show me your ways, oh powerful one?
Yeah, see, I'm still waiting for my buddy Guz, because, my man Guz is, he's a good friend of mine, and I'm waiting to see if he
I
can
can
see
do it
this.
without components.
What does this friend
That's
does
fine.
look like?
Guz?
Yeah.
Oh, I was telling your friends here.
I
You
was-
must be new.
Yeah, sorry, I was
Hi,
off
I'm Ollie.
helping with a friend. Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Faye.
Nice to meet
Hey,
you,
you're gonna
Faye.
say nay.
It's very nice to get some names besides Squire.
Oh yeah, no, we call him just the Squire.
what's,
He
what's
doesn't
your
really
name?
have a name. It's
What,
just
like
Squire.
Beyonce?
Yeah, kind of actually. Like that's actually pretty accurate.
More like Prince.
Yeah.
Or queen.
So when Squire Chains, he's the person formerly known as Squire.
That's exactly it.
Wow.
I read.
Anyway, I'm waiting for Guz. He's my man.
What does this guy look like?
He's either a full orc or a half orc. I'm pretty sure he's half now that I think about it more. But he's I hired him to go find a friend of mine because it's one of those things that you kind of just you need some equipment.
I get it now.
What friend
What
are you
are you
looking
getting?
for? Oh god.
What did you
Yeah,
get?
what are you getting,
Shut up,
Squire?
Is it not blood? Because that's preferable.
But Squire really likes blood
Look,
and the human goo.
look, that's fine for you, but that's not in my taste. I'm not willing to open the door
I get
for
you.
just.
No, I totally get you. I wouldn't open the
Red
door
River.
for Squire either, so trust me.
Does the platform go around this house, or is it like just a door?
So what it is
Yeah.
it's one circle, big circle, big small circle. So small circle, ramp, big circle, ramp, small circle.
And we're at the top small circle?
You're at the top. You're at the bottom small circle because this is ramp. You walked up to the smaller one, and now you're knocking on the door of the bigger.
Does there seem to be, and I can roll for this, I'm not sure what, does there seem to be any other entrance into this place?
If there were, they're pretty well hidden. You might guess that there might be there might be a couple of windows or the like that you could try to scale, but this platform is about 20 or 40 feet up, somewhere in that realm. So getting to the middle platform would be an even more difficult endeavor, and then the final platform even more so from there.
No, I just want to get into his little house. That's what I mean. Is there an entrance into his little circle?
The tallest, smaller circle?
The one that he's in, the one that we're currently talking
He's in the biggest one.
Right. Is there another way to get in there?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Just kick open the door. Alright, mister, no more questions.
I mean, you could.
I mean, you're more than welcome to join us. There.
I want to. I'm
Taking a quick glance from your angle,
waiting.
besides the door that you're kind of at and knowing that there's another ramp, you can't see any immediate windows that people would be able to fit through. You can see that there's a couple of cracks in the wood that act as windows, but they're more you know how with medieval castles it's arrow slit kind of windows, so it's only that thick. So light can come in, but it doesn't mean it's fitable.
Okay. Do you remember what that oracle wanted?
Yeah, a lot of money on him. I don't know. The cheap dude was.
Yeah, but
Well, so what was his name again? Ami?
Oh, my name?
Yeah, what was your name again? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, my name's Ami.
Ami? Okay, well,
Yeah.
so who's this friend that your half-orc friend is looking for?
My,
I could make.
he's looking for he's looking for my teacher.
Your teacher? Oh.
Yeah, he's even more powerful.
Oh.
But you know, he's nothing. I don't know where he's been for a while.
Well, was there any sort of like circumstances that happened that kind of separated you two?
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Are you good at voices?
No.
That is a persuasion? Mod 20.
Mod 20? Okay. Well, you see, like, his whole deal, he's been an elf that's lived here for quite some time, and,
Okay.
and more recently, he kind of went off to go do an errand or something, and he hasn't been back since, so...
Are you good at voices?
I'm just gonna...
What was that?
No, don't worry about it. What was your story? What were you
I
telling
said,
me
does he
again?
have a
Shut-
weird voice?
Do I?
Yes.
Squire.
I mean, I've heard that I'm further north than some other people.
I'm collecting for the jester. I'm sorry about that.
For the jester?
For King Wenceslaus.
Oh, yeah, you're king. Okay. Anyway, so, yeah. Yeah, my elf friend, he went off on an errand. He's been gone for some time.
So so he's an elf, you said?
Yeah, he's an elf.
Okay. So would he specialize in like time magic or anything like that?
You know what? As far as I'm understanding, I'm pretty sure he only really dealt in transmutative type stuff. As far as time magic, there's not really much that I can say about that. I mean, like...
Who's the elf? I was distracted by your voice. Who's the elf?
The elf? Oh, yeah, that's the friend that Guz is looking for.
Yeah, it's his teacher that he's looking for.
Yeah.
Did he
Oh,
happen
the
to
orc
get
is looking for the elf.
Yeah, he's looking for an elf.
Did he happen to get, turned into a sheep along the way at all?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I
That,
don't know.
what? That sounds ridiculous.
The sheep sound like
The sheep did not follow you up
I
there.
know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for telling me. Like, I was really curious
So,
about that.
are you and your friend gonna get drinks? Because wait, what's the term? Hang on.
Oh, God.
Because I make a really good barkeep.
You know what? I'd rather not be inebriated in my teacher's abode, but
Wait, you don't live. This is wow.
well, I'm here on kind of apprenticeship duties.
Yeah, and
I'm
if his
here.
teacher's not there, then he can't just open the door.
Wait,
for
who's your
anyone.
teacher?
What? Oh, it's the
The
elf.
elf that the half-orc's looking for.
Yeah, Guz. Guz is looking for my
So
friend.
Jan isn't crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know who Jan is.
Jan lost the drinking contest.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Jan talks to the sheep
You're a bunch
first.
of like travelers and stuff. You're
You
not
come
from
from house. Squire's onto something.
No, get Squire. Shut up.
To be
I can
honest,
hear you're very contentious. I'll go ahead and go back to my studies
No,
now.
Ami, it's okay. Trust me. We fight a lot in our party, but like it's okay.
I'll be honest. I don't know where I am. And I'd like to get back to where I'm going, but I can turn into a frog.
You got a stutter there, friend. Are you okay?
Squire's a little slow in the head.
I can hear it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about our Squire.
Pretty apparent.
I'm sorry about our
It
Squire.
kind of sounds like that.
I just want to know how you do your stuff.
Why are you copying? Okay.
Okay, that's just frankly insulting.
Yeah, that's just really insulting, Squire.
You were insulting me first. I stuck my tongue out at you and you didn't know.
Okay, well, you didn't have to say it, but now I know. Okay, you're very clearly an unfriendly lot. I'll go ahead and go back
I'm
to my
telling you, all I
apprenticeship
want
duties.
is just to know what type of magic you can teach me.
You don't hear a response.
I love magic.
Ganlin is friendly.
Ganlin is very friendly.
You still don't
Okay.
hear a response.
So, can I want to cast Disguise Self and turn myself into a half-orc.
No, not any half-orc.
Wait, we have to get the information from us.
I was trying!
You were telling me
Doesn't know
that.
the half-orc.
I know, yeah, you have no idea about the half-orc. What's going on this
Are you good at voices?
Okay.
Are you good at voices?
I'm pretty good at voices.
Okay, he'll make the half-orc, you make the voice.
Okay, that works.
This is all like super
John and
hushed.
Gatlin, what are you two doing?
I want to turn into.
I wanted to get
no, I
in
can
on
turn into
this
the elf
action.
though, the guys. 'Cause I
What
saw
are your freeze stealth modifiers?
I think the elf is the sheep,
Yeah,
not
no,
the
that's
elf.
what I think too. But the the elf that showed up. Oh, you wouldn't remember because he saved you. It's like.
So what are your guys' mods for stealth?
Yeah,
Dun,
5.
dun, dun, dun,
Plus 5?
dun.
Yeah, mine is.
Your guys are whispering to
Plus-
one another.
I'm stage whispering for the camera.
My
Yeah.
mod is negative
Yeah,
2.
we're whispering.
Okay.
Dear gravy.
It's just so he can hear me like.
What'd you get?
Dun, dun,
Yeah, I don't care about that. It's more about you
Well,
guys
I
are
got
whispering.
18.
Does he hear?
I got an 18.
18?
Oh, do I have to roll?
Yeah.
No. What's your mods?
It's
mine is
I rolled for you.
Okay, I got my mod is a +3.
Plus 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So, not bad, not bad. Alright. So, you guys are whispering.
Does he hear us?
I am not telling you.
You know what? Just hold my heads.
What the fuck did you just say?
Hand you the orchid.
I'm just gonna like start
My
moving us
head.
away from the door.
Hold my heads.
No. I'm gonna start like ushering away
That's
from
another
the
anatomy
door.
thing I don't know about.
Just hold my heads.
Ganlin doesn't
Is
want
this
to
your
hold any
wait,
heads.
I don't. Yeah, no. Just carry the head, Slaker.
Okay.
Oh, the heads.
Just
Oh
hold
my
my heads.
god, I wasn't paying attention. I got that.
I'm gonna try and scale the building.
Okay, and while she's doing that, I'm gonna start ushering toes away from the building.
Do I need to roll athletics?
We're a mess. We're a mess, guys.
I'm sorry, I'm
Oh,
posting
my head. I
that.
was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've been wanting to say that this whole time.
The ape heads.
Yeah.
Imagine like after you decapitate them, then turn back to human.
Sweet.
That would have been really awkward. She's like, oh.
I mean, Slaker realized he just decapitated humans in the form of apes.
I mean, but I feel like Slaker would be okay with that.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not sure as the rest of everyone else.
What was that quote? You know what? Just hold my head. Were you talking about my ape heads? Hold them? Was
No,
that-
I never said ape. I
yeah,
just
she
said
never.
hold my
Yeah,
heads.
just said hold my head.
What was after the? What are you talking about?
Hold my heads.
Yeah.
Hold my head. Okay.
What? Just hold my heads. I don't want to hold a head. Oh, I get it. Yes, hold my heads. Thank you.
I thought you were saying like.
Oh no, there was also is this one of these weird?
Is this an anatomy thing?
I don't know about yet.
I know the squire. Yeah.
There was that in there. No, that was the entirety of it.
Repeat that.
Was this an anatomy thing? Is this an anatomy thing I don't know about yet? Is from Winston's Lost to the Squire.
Shake.
Shake.
I'm gonna cut that off there. Cool. Alright, that's a good quote. It's a good back and forth. You know, just don't like that. I did the, like, every other capitalized letter on that part because it's funnier. Alright. So.
I'm not reading that right now.
He can read that.
Oh, God.
Because I feel like this is something the party would do. I'll send it to you.
Oh, good.
It's great.
So, Ganlin and Jan, what are you doing? They're like squabbling to one another.
Where are the heads?
Currently, King Wenceslas has them.
Okay. I guess I knock on the door again.
I go.
Look, I'm not willing to answer you guys.
You just did.
Oh!
You got me there, but I'm still not opening this door for you.
Not for me, for my King Wenceslas.
Yeah, he still has it.
Are you slapping yourself?
Is he beating the chicken?
Not now.
Well,
I'm trying to think if I ever. Probably for a really good joke.
What is a joke?
A joke is funny.
Oh, like you
Usually.
not opening the door.
That is
No,
not
that's
a
not
joke.
a joke. Because I'm literally not opening the door. A joke would be like if I said, hey, I'm gonna open the door. So like, hey, I'm gonna open the door.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna try and open it.
I don't open the door though.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and open it. Is it locked?
It's locked.
Yeah.
See,
Bust it
that's a
open.
good joke
You said
because
barbarian
it's
brain.
ironic. People think that I'm opening the door when in truth I'm actually not.
Oh, I get it. So if I say, "Wow, you're really friendly,"
See, that just sounds like sarcastic assholery.
That's exactly.
That's
what
a
it
joke.
I don't know, it's funny to us.
isn't
It's
that
funny to some people in context, I guess.
Yeah, like opening the door.
Yeah. Here's a joke. Let's
I used
put
one
our
since
heads
last-
together. And hold our heads together.
I'm gonna try and
Gentham has a joke for you.
WENCESLAS.
Yeah,
C
there's messages
E
coming.
Wenceslas.
Can I try and scale the building to get onto the roof?
Oh, okay.
No.
I just want to acknowledge in the comments the whole, you know what, just hold my heads, that whole debacle comment. Where are the heads? King Wenceslas has them. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I've seen that meme. I love that meme.
It's a great
I've
meme.
considered making a character.
Honestly, now that I see that, I am sorry.
Anyway, so you go to open the door and it doesn't open, and now
I want
you're
to scale the building.
okay. You're trying to scale the building.
Athletics.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me pull up that picture that says how ratings work.
23.
23.
Yeah.
So as far as things go, you have made about 5 feet of progress up. So after a good, 30 seconds or so, you're kind of trying to grab and find purchases, and it's a pretty vertical climb.
So the ramp that goes up to the next one, can you jump off that onto the roof?
No.
How far of a jump?
So, part 1, part 2, part 3. It's kind of, to get to the roof, you would probably have to fly, because it's one of those, triangular cones that, overhangs.
I was thinking cylinder.
I mean, the base of it's a cylinder, it's just the top of it is less so. If that makes sense.
Could you draw this shape? Just like the facade of it?
Yeah, erase that shit.
Delete.
Because both of my whiteboards are used. One's a map and one's your guys' stats and his stats and their stats and...
There you go.
They're not the sheep.
But not.
Sheep stays. Yeah, sheep. What? Yeah, talking sheep.
Whatever.
Sheep stays.
Sheep.
He's still sitting there.
A little sheepish.
They're so fans.
Give me an idea. It's quite the architecture.
So if I were to draw it and it was in a perfect line, this is kind of what it looks like.
Oh.
So ramp, kind of a, I'm gonna, for lack of a better description, call it a garden, but it has trees, just a couple of them, and then a ramp, and then what is clearly a base structural tower, elevate that maybe another inch or two, and then ramp, and then small
I'm
offshoots.
just gonna go to the small offshoot. Yeah, but I'm gonna take my heads.
How are you gonna get there?
There's a ramp, isn't there?
Yeah, in that one.
Oh, you have to
So
get
it's
into
a
that one.
it's
Got you.
Like
if
a
you were
bridge.
visually looking at it, it's kind of like a spiral where you have to kind of
And
get
the
into one,
tree structure.
get into the other. You're here.
Think Endor.
And the tree structure.
Big Endor.
Can I climb the tree? Or
You have been attempting so far.
the houses are the tree.
Yes.
Got you.
Made of wood.
Aha.
You could start a fire. Get him out of that house pretty quick.
Yeah.
Is that break time? 'Cause
I'm done with this house.
It is 11:05.
Oh,
I mean, we could.
Huh?
We could.
Yeah,
We can keep going. We can break. How do
Break
people
time
feel?
because Slaker must be.
At least break time.
I'm down either way.
I mean, I can just grab my heads and sit down, and Ganlin can tell their joke, and I'll be right back.
Oh, it wasn't a very good joke.
I gotta leave at 11:30. I have to pick my parents up from the airport.
Okay.
Let's all go. It'll be an adventure.
Yeah, we'll have room for all of this.
I mean, we can take 2 cars. It's fine. I have room in my car for sure.
Take 2 in a row.
If we break.
I want to
Take
go on an
these cars.
adventure tonight.
We could take El Caro de Nicolas.
Delgado.
If we don't finish this tonight, then
We should all go on an adventure.
Not pizza.
no. I
Is
mean,
it-
when do we finish it?
I know.
If we don't finish this tonight, then we would finish it.
Next week?
No.
No, because we're missing people.
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah,
something
that's when
else.
I'm running my shit.
Yep,
Oh, you're.
because
going
that's
off
Nick's
this
one
night.
shot,
Hell
and then after
yeah.
that, and we're so good to host at yours.
Yeah.
We're going to Grayson's
Give me
next
a
week.
way.
Next week, Grayson's.
Oh, that's
I'll
fun.
post a reminder.
That's fun.
So if we don't finish
That's what we
this
call it.
week, then it'll be 1 week, 2 weeks. April 1st, April.
I'm gonna be blasting that when you come over on the movies. Sunglasses just.
It'll be April 8th that we finish this.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh my god.
And if we have other days where we won't have everyone, we should totally do my zombie apocalypse.
Do your what?
My zombie apocalypse thing.
Sorry, I don't want to do that one. I just don't like zombies. It's so overdone.
But
You mean
there'll
your
be
brain?
cannibals too.
I
Cannibals.
might come hang out. Oh my god.
Fine.
Sorry.
You don't
I'm
have
not
to.
big on
then.
zombies.
No
I
one.
may or may not, after you, Nick, after you host, I may or may not switch to every other week.
Yeah, because we do that sometimes, especially when people go back to school and stuff. Or if people are.
Oh, for meeting?
For meetings. So 1 week my campaign, other week I don't know. Do people want to hang out? Do people want?
Yeah,
to
'cause
do
that's
one
what
shot?
we did
Do want
last
people
year.
blah blah blah.
I got you.
Because then it opens it up for other people to run, or it opens everybody up to just dick around.
Right, to just do something different.
Yeah,
Because we
which
do.
would be pretty
Yeah, just
fun.
like
We
watch
dick around
movies and play
constantly.
games.
Yeah, you guys took forever to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will refer to the lot of you. If you want to like get things done, that's on you.
I try, and then shit just
You
happens. Most of the time I
barely,
try.
Been yelling about
barely tried.
Hey, I was trying to get information about the orc, but does anybody ever listen to me? No! No one just lets me do my thing.
Because we all knew about
I
the
refer
orc,
to
and you
the
were like,
tower.
No, because I
Please
didn't
tell
know
us.
about the orc.
No,
and
I
wanted
refer
to
to
hear
like
from
the
him.
tower stuff. Like,
Yeah, see, I didn't
nothing
know.
happened.
I didn't know what was happening with the tower, honestly.
yeah, that was a long stretch.
But hey, I found the human goo, and that's all that matters.
For the scenario,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's up. Does it involve fire?
No,
Oh, that was
that's
my
my
game
other
plan.
character.
I was thinking burning the place down. That would be awesome.
I drew it because I agree.
Hey, there you go. Hey, let me know. You kidding
Bars
me?
the doors.
You'd be like,
That'd be
"Oh,
really
boy."
horrible. We trap him inside.
Yeah.
Does it look like I care?
No, but some of us might.
You didn't think I was a king. Because I was informal. Come on. Look at our president. You can be
Yeah.
really powerful and informal.
if you guys want to accomplish more in D&D sessions,
Not really.
I would recommend taking more initiative as you guys.
But we like just fucking around, honestly. I
I'm
enjoy
trying
it.
to
I enjoy it.
peacefully get to the bottom of this complication.
I mean, I have been too. But
You kicked a piece of armor.
yeah.
That was character development.
Yeah, but she's also
And
like
you know
chaotic
it.
evil, so
I
I
turned into
know.
a cat for character.
But it's I think one of my favorite quotes I've heard is there's a difference between character and plot. If something isn't happening for plot, it's happening for character, or vice versa. So if you guys want more plot things to happen, then continue. Otherwise, I'll just kind of stand there and mediate things like the drinking game as an example from last time, or what the entirety of the Squire King relationship
But that was beautiful.
nonsense.
That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's all really great character stuff. So
That's great.
this is me being meta saying like
So the conversation through the door, what would that fall under?
character. Oh my god, character, are you kidding?
We're not actively even in the place or trying to get into the place. We're just kind of talking.
Yeah, like if you guys wanted to progress, then I think the try to climb would have happened sooner. Try to break down the door would have happened sooner.
Yeah, but he's a powerful wizard.
What if I pick the lock?
I don't want to like break a door down and then have
Okay,
a party.
I have a new game plan. Can we keep playing? I have a new game plan.
Let's pick the lock.
Are we down for the night?
No, we can't keep
Yeah,
going.
we can keep going.
Jan might be down. Jan, whose character? Who's holding your character sheet?
Oh yeah.
When you
Is it
leave,
okay?
Leave and let me put it in.
Is it okay if we wrap up by
I was
midnight?
planning on it.
Yeah.
we could wrap up now
I
though.
brought Bang if
we
you
could.
just want to play that.
Yeah, we could just play Bang and just
And we
leave it
could wrap
here
it
and then
now.
regroup
I'm deferring
next
to
week.
you guys.
I just need to be
We
done
can
by about
continue.
midnight
I have all sorts of stuff.
with whatever we're doing.
Originally, I had all night, and then my parents
Are
were
we
like,
gonna-
"Hey, guess what? We actually don't have a ride. What are you doing?"
Play next
Let's
week?
go on an adventure.
Like
Next
play
week
this
is one
next
shot.
week? Okay.
Also, aren't you?
I'm not here next week. That's why I was
I
wondering.
could have
Yeah.
my brother do it, but I already said yes.
Adventure.
I'd
I
like.
think he's.
Let's all go on an adventure.
I'd like to play Bang.
Honestly,
We all go to pick up your parents.
honestly,
You
it'd be
can't
the
even
most,
get in the
it
car.
would be the funniest thing. Like everybody can get in my car, and then he can take his car. His parents can get in his car. We'll just follow him. Let's do it, guys. I'm down. I like adventures.
Yeah, if you guys
Adventures.
want to pause here, you are welcome to. If you guys want to continue, I'm down.
I feel like it's a
have
good
no
place
preference.
to pause because we're trying to figure out how to get into the place. So I feel like
Okay.
it's a good place to pause if we do decide to. And I kind of want to play Bang.
Okay,
Because Bang is fun.
cool. We'll end it there then.
Or we can all just hop in my car.
No.
And go fuck shit up. Because I love doing that. I love doing that.
Jordan,
I also
let's
just really
take
love
a picture
driving
of
my
the
car,
thing.
especially on the
You
highway.
get a really good reaction by going to the airport and pulling up and say, "Hey, I
So
got mom."
I'll grab your mother, you can grab your father.
Okay.
I just love
Don't
driving
say
on the
it
highway.
like that. That's weird.
Right?
I'll grab your mother.
And you grab your father.
And you
I'll
grab your
grab
father.
you.
Alright.
You grab your mother and I'll grab
Alright.
your father.
Everyone get a hand.
Alright guys, buddy system. Alright
Yeah.
guys, let's play Bang. I love Bang.
That's
Also,
Hold on, we have to do XP.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I already closed my.
1,
We
2,
spent
3, 4,
11.
5 of you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, buddy.
Each of you gets 80.
80.
8.
I level up.
2 apes and a bear. Worth.
Give me that pen.
I still want to
Sorry.
go.
If you don't mind.
You got him down.
I gotta be freaking.
But you gotta be sure that he's not gonna get up and attack you.
337. I think it's just 417, right?
337 plus 80.
I was right. Yes.
I'm looking at the XP of the next stuff you're supposed to encounter.
No, no.
Oh shit.
Are you gonna have to rebalance it?
No. You wasted your spells. That's all you can.
I have not spent any spells, thank you.
You don't have spells.
There you go.
I know.
I still
Alright.
wasting.
Bye.
Bye!